My name is Josh Zamora.
Hi, my name is Zach Akoski.
My name is Donovan Benoit.
This is Rob Emery.
My name is Zach Daniels.
My name is Max Troiani.
And you're watching the
Birds Broadcasting Network.
You're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
Welcome into the Bird's Eye View pregame show. Hyannis, Orleans, Scotty Gange, more importantly, Alec Hendon, baby. Are we enjoying ourselves today?
Scotty, it's another beautiful day here on the Cape Cod League. I got to spend the day at the beach earlier. I'm having the time of my life.
Oh, yeah, I was working.
I got some sun. Some people work, some people have fun, but we're all having fun right now, Scotty. Isn't that right?
We are having so much fun. I mean, the foot is even up on the stool.
I got to do that too.
All right, cool. Let's talk some baseball. Of course, Hyannis and Orleans. Here at Orleans, day 4 of the 4-game home streak, and we've seen some great baseball from the Firebirds lately. Today, what are we expecting to see, Alec?
Well, Orleans coming off 2 straight wins. They're facing the worst team in the Cape right now. They've already beaten Hyannis 2 times prior. First half, another home and home. They're obviously seeking another opportunity. They have excelled against the West Division so far this season. 8-2-2, just been dominating affairs. Obviously beat Hyannis the 2 times prior pretty easily. And so I expect a little bit more, some good baseball from the Firebirds because they seem like they're a little bit back in the groove. Great 3-2 win yesterday. Seemed like the old team we saw earlier in the season where they scored enough and the pitching did the job. And right now I think they're getting their mojo back a little bit.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of the mojo and the fact that things are working out for them. Balls are bouncing the right way for the Firebirds. A few pass balls helped them score runs last night. There was great pitching on the mound. Connor Pellerin came in, closed things out. Jake Heater started things, did really well. Owen Sharks is on the mound tonight for Orleans. You got to think it's going to be that same rhythm of pitching for the Firebirds.
Absolutely. One of my favorite baseball saying is momentum is only as good as that the next day's starting pitcher. And Owen Sharks last Friday in Wareham had his worst start of the summer. Only went 2 innings, about 8 earned runs. Pitched against YD earlier this week in relief. Only got a 1 inning under his belt to get a little more comfortable back in his rhythm instead of throwing a bullpen session. Kelly Nicholson seems like he's done that a lot with the starters instead of just having bullpen. Get some work in the bullpen, get some work out in a real game situation, and he threw one quick, clean inning in dominant fashion. I expect his changeup to be back in shape, and I expect him to probably make a little bit of an adjustment because we saw Wareham, they were very aggressive against him. He's probably going to have to make sure a better job of spotting up his pitches, but if he does that, I don't expect anything other than another good start from him.
Like he said, last time it was quick and clean, and the guy that wasn't very clean, but he was quick last night was Jacob Hurtubise. He made a diving catch. His white jersey turned green against his old team, the Harwich Mariners. How cool is that?
Oh my gosh, the guy was all over the outfield making SportsCenter top 10 level plays. That great diving play took away extra bases. He's shown that he's already an early captain at the center field position. He just does all the little dirty things for this team, hitting leadoff. He opened the game with an 8-pitch great at bat to wear down the starting pitcher. He's just impressive to watch. He's what baseball people like to call a grinder. I think we all like grinders now and then out there, Scotty.
I gotta say a grinder is Josh Zamora. He's coming up right here, coming up next here on the Bird's Eye View pregame show. Hey, welcome back into Bird's Eye View and another exciting baseball game today, but this is the first time we've had you on Bird's Eye View, Josh.
It is.
We've got Josh Zamora, infielder out of University of Nevada, Reno. First off, thank you so much for hanging out, and the coolest thing I think for you going on right now is your parents are in town.
Sure, they are.
So how cool is that for them to be watching you play baseball?
Man, it's awesome. You know, you grow up through high school and all that stuff, and it's always been a dream of mine to come out and play in the Cape, and them flying out here, making the flight across the country is incredible.
So we're 25 games into the 44-game regular season. It feels like it's been almost a year and a half here. But if you can pick out one thing of what you've learned or picked up in your 25 games plus Fenway Day, what would you say?
I think it's just maturity, you know? Just coming out here and being a guy amongst a bunch of studs is very humbling, you know? And you go through your days just trying to get 1% better in knowledge every day. And I think I've learned that through my teammates and my coaches. It's all about maturity and how you handle yourself on the field, from failure and success and all that.
I mentioned Fenway Day in that last question to you, and the fact that when we were at Fenway Day, you told me how blessed you were to be a part of playing baseball and just how much of a blessing it is for you. And I know every time you go out to third base right behind us, you draw a cross in the dirt. How important is that for you in the game of baseball?
Yeah, you know, it's incredibly important. I believe in this lifetime that I owe everything to God. Everything that I do is to glorify His name. And that's just how I was raised. You know, I grew up going to church every Saturday and Sunday, and always on the Bible. You know, you have your Bible in the morning, read a little bit, and then pray before bed, and pray about any troubles in life. It's been a beautiful life, man.
When before the games, before you go out and draw the cross on the dirt, you and about 5 or 6 other teammates, you guys all huddle together and pray together. At first it was just you and it looks like Eddie McKay. Now it's a group of 5 or 6 guys. It seems really, really special whenever I get to see that.
Yeah, you know, it kind of started when I was younger. I kind of grabbed me and my best friend Cooper from back home, and we'd always go to church together and pray together. And we built our foundation together in our faith. And so we played baseball growing up together. For every game, we'd get down on a knee and just pray and thank God for everything He's given us. And kind of translated to high school, where you start out individually, and then all it takes is one guy. Hey man, let me join you. All right, we got a group, and the same thing happened out here.
It seems like a brotherhood almost when you're doing that. Do you feel like you're getting closer to those guys when you're praying together before the games and sharing that in the moment?
100%. And you know that's another thing about being out here is all the relationships I've built already. You know, it's incredible. Besides the game of baseball and all I've learned, the relationships I've built, I feel like I will last for lifetime.
I think the coolest thing about baseball is there's 44 games of but that's going to come and go. Baseball game today, it's going to happen. By tomorrow, it's going to be over. The relationships you just touched on, how special and how important has that been for you this summer?
You know, that's been incredibly important. And before I came out here, I told myself, you know, try to excel at baseball, but more importantly, build relationships. You know, because in 20 years, you're not going to be talking about, oh, dude, you know, remember that game on full floor, all that stuff. It's going to be like, hey, dude, I know that guy. Like, that guy's my friend. Like, I grinded with him, I slept with him, like I ate with him, I did everything with him through the summer, and now we're best buds.
You're a West Coast guy. You're from California, you go to school in Nevada. This is the first time you've ever been on the East Coast, the longest amount of time, and it seems like that relationship is kind of getting you through it. It's a bit of a life change and a culture shock for me as well, but I think for both of us it's really made it much easier, much more fun.
Yeah, and kind of talking about that, it's kind of like going from high school moving to college. You know, it's your first time away from home, you don't really know anybody, your foundation's a little rocky, and those relationships get you past everything. You know, knowing and meeting guys from the East Coast, everyone's different, and I think I've learned that the best out here, just to accept everyone for how they are, and you know, there's always room for happiness and love, always.
It seems like it's kind of opened you up in your perceptions of life.
Oh, 100%. Especially the bug bites. Those have definitely humbled me, I'll tell you that one.
The most important question I could ever ask you, if all time, with anything and everything, are you having fun out here?
Incredible amount of fun. An absolutely incredible amount of fun. Because it just bounces off of everything, you know, from the coaches being positive and showing up to the field every day with a smile, to the players just absolutely loving it out here, to, you know, off days when we go to the beach and you get to experience that whole different area of life, and it's absolutely amazing.
That's amazing to watch baseball. I know this guy bleeds positivity. If you're watching the game today, take a look at this guy. You're always having fun, enjoying life. Enjoy life today and the rest of the summer. Thanks so much for the time, man.
Thank
Josh
you very
Zamora,
much.
Really do appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Zach Kokoska. I'm an outfielder, and a fun fact about me is I grew up in the same town as Arnold Palmer.
Catcher for the Orleans Firebirds. Fun fact about me is I can finish a double cheeseburger in less than 30 seconds.
My name is Max Troiani. I play in the outfield. You're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
My name is Zach Daniels. I play outfield, and a fun fact about me is I like Legos.
Hey, that was pretty fun having Josh Zamora on this Birds Eye View pregame show. You get to see so many of the different facts and figures. He kind of talks about the fact that how his faith proves through his baseball, and most importantly, the relationships he's made out here. This is a guy I've had an exciting relationship, not only here, but at school too. Lyle Goldstein, broadcaster for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Lyle, it's nice to see you again.
You too, buddy. Always happy to come on.
I know it's kind of been a rocky season for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, but recently there's been some pluses for them.
Yeah, there has. And last couple nights, offense has been a little bit lackluster, although it was a pitching duel last night against Bourne, a 4-2 defeat. But Hyannis really showed some good stuff on the mound. But you talk about what kind of went on earlier, before those couple of games, and the offense was really starting to show out. They put up 5+ runs in multiple games. They rallied off 2 straight wins in a doubleheader against Bourne. And they've gotten some reinforcements too. The big one, Jordan Westberg, a shortstop out of Mississippi State. This kid's been insane. Cape Cod League Player of the Week, 12 for his first 20, had 3 home runs in his first 2 games, and he was hitless last night. So tonight, I don't know, maybe 4 for 6, a couple of extra base hits.
One of the, it's always the fact you go 0 for 5 and then you'll go 4 for 5. So it might happen tonight. Unfortunately for the Firebirds, but keep an eye out for him. Pitching wise, what have we seen so far?
Well, it's been up and down again. Last night was probably one of the better outings in a long time. Tyler Madison, right-hander out of Bryant, went 5 strong innings, 2 earned runs. They had some good work out of the bullpen too, just couldn't quite close it late. And that's obviously the story for Hyannis this season, is consistent pitching has kind of been their Achilles heel at times, but still looking to kind of bridge the gap a little bit, still looking to work their way out of the cellar in the West Division, and it all starts one game at a time. And right here, Orleans, Eldridge Park on a beautiful night, they got a chance to make some ground up.
It really is a beautiful night. You can see it behind us. We're all enjoying ourselves out here. And Josh Zamora, he kind of got me feeling great today. Away from baseball, because 44 games are going to come and go. In terms of relationships with these Hyannis Harbor Arts guys, I know it's been good for you. How's that been for you? In just creating relationships?
It's been really great. I mean, 2 years in a row, a lot of these guys have been really awesome to talk to. I mean, so many guys are so friendly, so welcoming, and they're happy to talk and share their stories, which has been awesome, because that's a little bit of what's different from the Cape as opposed to like these school seasons for us as journalists, and probably for them as players a little bit as well, is all the media stuff is so set up and coordinated, and there's not any just kind of walking out on the field and standing around the batting cage during practice, but it's so free flowing out here, and that's part of what's so fun, because it's a prestigious league, but in terms of like things leading up to the game and how media-player relationships work, it's much more open. You get to really kind of know the guys a little bit more, so that part's been a lot of fun.
It really is fun getting to know people. Get to know Lyle Goldstein as a fantastic person. If you see him on the street, say hello. He'll say hello back, right?
I'll be happy to say hello back.
Lyle Goldstein hanging out here on the Birds Eye View pregame show, because now it is time for baseball. It's Hyannis and Orleans right here at Eldridge Park, only here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
My name is Josh Zamora.
Hi, my name is Zach Koska.
The Orleans Firebirds wrap up a 4-game homestand at Eldridge Park as the Birds welcome the Hyannis Harbor Hawks to Orleans, Massachusetts. We welcome you here to Miss Eldridge alongside Thomas Cinzarella. I'm Josh White. Thomas, after dropping 6 consecutive games, the Birds are back and they've won 2 in a row.
Yeah, the Birds are definitely back after defeating the Mariners yesterday 3-2. It was a ball game in which, I know, one of those close ball games where the Firebirds able to just claw their way through after Harwich once again scored first for the 3rd time in the 3rd matchup.
So Owen Schartz, the right-hander from Nevada, towing the rubber for the Birds tonight. First pitch, fastball paints the inside corner for strike 1, and we are underway at 6:59 p.m. Another early start here at Eldridge. Final game of a 4-game homestand before the Birds go on the road. 0-1 to Jordan Westberg, popped up on the right side of the infield, drifting into foul ground. First baseman Raymond Gill gives chase right near the netting on the right field line, makes the grab for the first out of the ball game.
All right, it's always easier when you can get a guy like Westberg out, the first batter of the game. He's just been unstoppable so far since he has stepped foot here onto Cape Cod.
So let's give you the Hyannis Harbor Hawks lineup. It'll be Jordan Westberg, the shortstop from Mississippi State, who just popped out. Rigsby Mosley and Trevor Hover due up in this inning. First pitch to Mosley. Fastball dots the outside corner for strike one. DH Hunter Goodman bats in the cleanup spot. Jackson Olson hits fifth at third base. Jared DeSantelo at first bats sixth. 0-1. Fastball lofted out to left field. Kokoska ranging back. In front of the track, has room. Makes the grab. And on 4 pitches, there's 2 down.
Well, I think Owen Schartz is a little more relieved out there that he has recorded the first 2 outs on the first 2 hitters. Of course, the last time he made a start was in Wareham, and the Wareham bats got to him early and often. Only lasted 2 innings, allowed 9 runs. Came out of the bullpen against Chatham back on July, threw a strong 1 inning of relief.
Bottom third of this Hyannis lineup to follow. First pitch to Trevor Halver. Fastball misses low below the knees for ball 1. Mitch McIntyre in center bats 7th. Second baseman Anthony Servideo hits 8th, and Adam Hackenberg will do the catching and round out the order. 1-0 changeup on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. So Schartz, his 6th and final appearance of the summer, his 4th start. 1-1 with a 6.58 ERA. 1-1. Breaking ball nubbed back to the mound. A leaping Schartz knocks it down. He'll run it to first base. Underhand toss, and the side is retired. So Owen Schartz sets down the Harbor Hawks on just 7 pitches. And we'll head to the home half of the first at Eldridge Park with the Birds and their Harbor Hawks scoreless. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Owen Schartz set down the Harbor Hawks on just 7 pitches in the top half, and now the Firebirds will dig in for the first time tonight. Let's check out the Orleans lineup. It's on your screen. Couple changes for the Birds. Zach Kokoska back in the lineup after a couple nights off. David Avidia behind the dish, and Shea Whitcomb shifting to the right side of the infield. First pitch to Jacob Hurtubise. Fastball taken low for ball 1. On the mound tonight for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, Cole Pletka, 6'8", 250-pound right-hander from Dayton University. Want to know the count? Pletka comes to his set. Here's the pitch. Fastball dots the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Now Pletka, his 4th appearance of the summer, first start. 7.71 ERA. Pitched 6 days ago, got tagged for 3 runs across the first inning and 2/3. 1-1. Breaking ball lifted into right field. The right fielder tracking back. He's got this one lined up, makes the grab, and there's 1 away. So Hurtubise continues to make solid contact, just finds the glove of Rigsby Mosley in right. And now Zach Britton, the right fielder from the University of Louisville, will check in from the left side. Pletka winds and fires. First pitch. Change up on the outside corner for strike one. Let's give you the Harbor Hawks defensive alignment. The outfield from left to right. Trevor Hauver, Mitch McIntyre, and Rigsby Mosley. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball bounces low, and it's 1-1. The infield, Jackson Olsen at third, Jordan Westberg at shortstop, Anthony Servideo, the second baseman, Jared DeSantelo at first, and the battery mate to Cole Pletka is Adam Hackenberg. 1-1. Fastball up and in. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Firebirds have played the Harbor Hawks twice this summer. The Birds have taken both matchups so far. They'll wrap up their 4-game season series against Hyannis tonight and tomorrow. A little home and home in the middle of July. Firebirds and Harbor Hawks scoreless with 1 away in the last of the first. 2-1 to Britton. Breaking ball chopped to the first baseman. DeSantelo gets down to a knee, gets under the glove, trickles into right field. Britton chugging around for second. Mosley's throw will go into second. Tag applied by Westberg in time. So we'll see how that one is scored, but nonetheless, Britton gunned down trying for an extra bag, 9-6, and there's 2 away.
Well, it was a good thought by Zach Britton. He was chugging hard out of the box. He already was taking a strong turn down there and said, why not? Test down to Rigsby Mosley's armor in the early goings, and unfortunately, unable to reach second base.
It's now Max Troiani, who gets a quasi-night off for the Birds. Has been an everyday outfielder for Orleans, shifted into the DH spot tonight. First right-hander in this Birds lineup. First pitch from Pletka. Curveball drops in middle of the plate for strike one. Now Pletka at 6'8", 250 pounds from Richmond, Texas. But when he gets his sign, comes to a squat. Trying to lower his level. 0-1. Breaking ball fools Troiani. He fishes on the outside part of the plate, and it's 0-2. We've seen similar things from Virginia Cavalier pitchers and Brian O'Connor. Andrew Abbott up here for the Orleans Firebirds does a similar motion. Troiani chokes up on the bat with 2 strikes. As the Birds lead the Cape in strikeouts on the offensive side. 0-2. Fastball runs outside, and it's 1-2. Orleans looking to strike first in the third meeting between these two sides. Troiani hitting a team-high .313 with 9 RBIs. Pletka rocks and fires 1-2. Breaking ball fought off by Troiani. Good 2-strike approach, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, it's really just choking up on the bat, just trying not to do too much, just put the ball in play. And Troiani choking up a good inch or so on that bat, able to get the fastball, elevate up in the zone, and just push it out of play.
So Troiani, who has been a strikeout victim quite often, 1-2. Breaking ball smacked right into center field for a base hit. And once again, the singles machine has another single. Max Troiani, for the league-leading 25th time this summer, has a base hit.
Well, just a hanging curveball there by Pletka. Troiani sees it right out of the arm slot and just picks it up. Keeps the hands back. It just sends it right back up the middle.
So now Raymond Gill, the first baseman from Miami, will try and break this scoreless tie. Ray gets the start at first base after a night off. Pletka out of the stretch for the first time. First pitch. Fastball misses low for ball 1. So they officially scored an error on Jared DeSantelo that allowed Zach Britton to reach, and he's gunned down 9-6 on a great throw by Rigsby Mosley. Pletka taps his foot. Now he's set from the first base side, 1-0. Fastball runs low and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Gill this summer for the Birds, .218, 3 homers and 9 RBIs, but has had a very patient eye at the dish. Top 10 in the Cape in walks with 11. 2-0 the count to the Birds' cleanup man. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball bounces low. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
Gill just waiting patiently at the plate, waiting for Pletka to throw a strike.
Let's give you the umpires for tonight. Calling balls and strikes is Joseph Caraco. At first, Vicente Alexander Medina. And at third, Charlie Curcio. 3-1, get me over fastball. Knots the outside corner, and it's 3-1. So we've talked about Gill's discipline at the dish. 11 walks, which puts him in the top 10 in the entire league. 6'1", 205-pound slugger, back in from the right side. Pleka snapped out of first base. Triani dives headlong in. Now Triani's starting to showcase the wheels a little more. 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Swiped 17 this past season at Bentley. And if Max Triani has proved anything this summer to anyone, it's that he can hang with the big boys. 3-1. Breaking ball bounces low, ball 4. So back-to-back base runners reach for the Orleans Firebirds, and Zach Kokoska, the left fielder from Kansas State, will stroll to the dish.
And Kokoska, a guy that is usually taken out of lineup for left-handers with Pleka, right-hander. He's back in the lineup. Guy that has come up with some clutch hits so far this year with runners in scoring position. Guy that's been batting, around the 1 or 2 spot now. Pushed down here to the 6 spot here. Or the 5 spot, excuse me.
So Birds threatening here in the last of the first. First pitch. Curveball runs tight for ball 1. Birds and Hawks, nothing apiece here in the last of the first at Eldridge Park. Raymond Gill on at first. Max Triani aboard at second with 2 away. Kokoska hitting .259 for Orleans. Here's the pitch. Fastball lofted into left field. Left fielder, however, ranging back in front of the track, has room, makes the grab, and the side is retired. So Cole Pletka works himself in and out and trouble as the Birds score no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and they leave 2 runners left on base. After 1, Orleans and Hyannis scoreless, and let's check in with Scotty Gange, not for the keys to the game, but Scotty's pointers, Scotty's observations. What do you want to call him, Scotty?
Dude, I really don't even know. I guess just my my things, for lack of a better term. My observations, a few things I noticed. If you can see, I'm here in the bubble with all the screens and everything, because something that I've noticed this week in the 4-game homestand is that these are really being used. The fact that these guys have been going out for early work to hit in the bubble, to do bunting drills, machine work, and it's just, I think we can all agree, it's an offense that has had a bit of a resurgence this week. 6 straight losses, of course, it's going to hurt an offense, and they came back 6 runs 2 nights ago, 3 runs last night, and the offense looked good last night, even though just 3 runs, when it doesn't really seem like that big of a number, and it's because they're using stuff like curveball machines. They're going double duty on the curveball machines. They're doing bunting drills, which they did a lot of last night, and just a lot more batting practice for the guys. So a lot of action is going on right here when they take it all out, and it's starting at like 1 p.m. for the 7 p.m. games, and I think that's why we've seen more of an influx in offensive activity.
I was surprised, Scotty, we did not hear about any special guests tonight, and I know you'll be happy to see Miss Gange later in the ballpark. It'll be a pleasure to meet her, but for now, it's baseball at Eldridge Park. First pitch from Owen Schartz to Hunter Goodman, bounces low for ball 1. Firebirds and Harbor Hawks scoreless, with Schartz just 8 pitches deep into his 3rd start of the summer. 1-0. Fastball right down Broadway, and it's 1-1. The right-hander from Nevada retired Hyannis on just 7 pitches in the first inning, but has arguably a tougher lineup, at least part of the lineup, in the second. 1-1, a heater that bounces down low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Starting with Hunter Goodman, who's batting .333 over his last 10 games. Has 15 RBIs over that stretch. 2-1, breaking ball up in the zone, fought off by Goodman out of play, and it's 2-2. Goodman, the Cape leader in RBIs with 22 in now 25 games. Rising sophomore out of Memphis. 2-2. Breaking ball upstairs, and the count runs full. Jackson Olsen and Jared DeSantelo to follow for the Harbor Hawks in this frame. Schartz a deep breath. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball fouled back to the screen, and we'll do it again. So Goodman, a unanimous freshman All-American this past season at Memphis, tied a program record, or set a program record for the Tigers. Payoff pitch, golfed back behind the plate. Avidia sheds the mask on the first base side, makes the grab in foul ground for the first out of the inning.
Again, I think for Owen Schartz, when you can, obviously, and really in all of baseball, when you're inside the leadoff hitter, it's going to help you a lot as a pitcher on the mound. But against this Hyannis lineup, where they have put up a number of runs since Westberg and some of the other guys have come up, they've been able to score 10, 12, even like 14, 15 runs. It's better to get that leadoff guy out.
First pitch to Jackson Olsen. Changeup that misses off the dish for ball 1. Orleans and Hyannis scoreless with 1 away in the top of the second. Olsen manning third base tonight for Chad Gassman's club. 1-0, fastball rocketed into deep right center field. Hurtaby's on the run. Britton ranging back in the right center field alley. He'll make the call and the catch right in front of the 359 sign for the second out.
Well hit ball there by Jackson Olsen. Just couldn't get all of it. We saw last time that Olsen, I believe, was here at Eldridge Park. Hit one to deep, deep center field. Probably almost 400, probably over 400. But Jordan Lala was able to make a great catch out there and chase the ball down.
So after 7 pitches in the first inning for Owen Schartz, it's now 8 pitches in the second. First pitch to Jared DeSantelo, breaking ball chopped on the first base side, and about 6 people come out of the Orleans dugout to grab the foul ball, and it's Brendan Eigerbrodt, the first-year assistant, who makes the play.
A couple kids in the candy shop there, all wanting that baseball.
2 away in the top of the second, 0-1 to DeSantelo. Breaking ball nubbed to the first base side. Gill backhands it in the hole, drops the baseball on the flip. So Gill made a sharp play, bolting off the bag, dropped it on the transfer for the Birds' first error of the night.
Yeah, just a tough ball on the hole down there on the right side of the infield. Gill made an impressive play on it, but DeSantelo charging down the first base line might have applied a little bit of pressure on Gill to flip it all clean over to Owen Schartz at first base.
So it goes down as an E3 officially, and Mitch McIntyre now the batter, with Orleans and Hyannis deadlocked at nothing apiece. Schartz out of the stretch, first time tonight. Fastball nips the inside corner at the belt for strike 1. McIntyre out of BYU, hitting .227. A two-way player heading into his senior season. 4 appearances on the mound so far this summer for the Harbor Hawks. 0-1 from Schartz. Fastball rocketed back to the screen, and it's 0-2. McIntyre an All-West Coast Conference second-team selection. Now, where he really made his butter, despite hitting .291 with 7 homers, was on the mound. Most innings pitched in a season without allowing an earned run in BYU history. 17 innings, no earned runs allowed. 0-2. Breaking ball stays upstairs. Runner going. Avidia's got him a dead duck, and DeSantelo is caught. Avidia fires a gun to Murray at second, and the side is retired. So Owen Schartz has set down the Harbor Hawks facing the minimum through the first 2 innings, as Hyannis scores no runs on no hits, 1 error, and they leave nobody left on base. After an inning and a half, Orleans and Hyannis, nothing apiece. And let's check out some highlights from yesterday's ballgame.
1 out. Fastball is laced out towards right field, coming in as Zach Daniels dives out and makes the catch in right field. 1-1 from Eder. Curveball is corked out towards right center field. Hurtaby's on the run, makes a dive out there. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did.
First pitch to Daniel Cabrera. Fastball chopped to the right side, could be 2. Fielded by Zamora. Throw off balance to second. Nabs the lead runner, but that will bring home a run as 2-2. Breaking ball on the inside corner, strike 3 called. Triani chokes up on the bat, 1-1 from the southpaw. Breaking ball shot into shallow right field. The right fielder Cabrera coming on. This bounces down for a hit. Avidia is in from third. Everyone stops, and now the ball's thrown away by the right fielder Cabrera. Daniels darts home on the errant throw from Daniel Cabrera, and the Birds take the lead. It's 2-1 in the 5th. 0-2. Breaking ball hit on a line right at the shortstop, Tanner Murray, who leaps and makes the grab. Here's the 2-2. Slider hit over the head of Murray, this time into left field for a base hit. Noisy comes in to score 1-2. Breaking ball skips past the catcher, Rothenberg to the backstop. McCabe coming home. Throw to the plate will not come.
The 1-2. Curveball inside corner, strike 3. 3-2. Fastball cut on the miss for strike 3. Here the Birds are back in business as the Firebirds defeat the Harwich Mariners by a final score of 3-2
Tanner Murray, who applied the tag to end the top half of this inning, will lead off for the Birds in the last of the second, with Orleans and Hyannis scoreless at Eldridge Park. Cole Pletka back out on the mound. The 6'8" right-hander comes into a squat, winds and fires. First pitch, fastball golfed into straightaway center field. Center fielder ranging back, has room, and Mitch McIntyre squeezes the first out of the inning.
Well, we've seen a couple line drives so far. Hurtaby started out the first inning with a line drive towards the right fielder. This time, Tanner Murray connects some good barrel to the ball, but just, again, right at the center fielder McIntyre, who just takes about 2 steps back.
Now Eddie McCabe, the batter for the Birds. First pitch coming. Fastball right down the chute for strike 1. Now McCabe is second consecutive ball game at the hot corner. Started predominantly at shortstop for Orleans this summer. His first 13 starts came at the shortstop position. 0-1. Curveball doesn't break above the head of McCabe, and it's 1-1. So the Firebirds and the Harbor Hawks, nothing apiece with one away in the bottom half of the second. McCabe has reached base in 6 straight ball games. Righty on righty matchup, the 1-1. Fastball backs off McCabe, called a strike on the inner half, and it's 1-2. Eddie 0 for 3 last night, but did draw a walk and score a run for the Birds in what was their 13th win of the summer. 1-2 by Pletka. Breaking ball fisted to the right side. It shoots into the outfield for a base hit. Eddie McCabe, a good 2-strike approach, and the Birds their second base hit of the night.
Yeah, really good 2-strike approach by Eddie McCabe. Curveball in on the hands. Gets the hands out early and just slashes it through the right side of the infield. It wasn't the hardest. It was a hard hit ball. Didn't travel that far, but that's just great hitting by Eddie McCabe.
So now David Avidia, the catcher from Grand Canyon, will dig in for the first time tonight. And Avidia starting to figure things out here on Cape Cod. Has reached base in 5 straight games. First pitch, fastball over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Birds trying to strike first on what could be a very monumental night here in Orleans. Firebirds already with 13 wins on the summer. If they win tonight, it matches their total from all of last year. This is game 26, folks. 0-1. Breaking ball bounces low, and it's 1-1. Now, the other thing that would come into play tonight is if the Birds win, this would be Kelly Nicholson's 350th regular season win over his 15th year leading the Firebirds. McCabe aboard at first with 1 away. Pletka set for the first base side, 1-1. Fastball misses low and away. It's 2-1. Avidia hitting 174, starting his 16th game behind the dish. 2 of his 3 RBIs this summer have come against the Harbor Hawks. 2-run single against Hyannis earlier this summer. McCabe being held on at first. And now Pletka makes the move over, but Eddie's back in.
Avidia had his first base hit, I think, against Hyannis back at McKean Park. Remember, he had the sacrifice fly, probably one of his best games of the season at McKean Park.
2-1, chopped up the left side and foul, and it's 2-2. And for David Avidia, got off to, what, a 1 for 20 start? 0 for 20 start, rather?
Yeah.
Turned it around. We talked about the comparisons of last summer. Nate Eichhoff and Harwich 0 for his first 28 or so. We'll see if McCabe is off and running. 2-2 the count to the 8-hole hitter, David Avidia. Infield shifted up the middle, trying to turn 2 for Hyannis. Here's the 2-2. Fastball punched out foul behind the dish, and we'll do it again. Now Hyannis has struggled this season, and for good reason. The worst pitching team in practically every category. 7.65 ERA, a 186 whip. Opponents hit 297 off the Harbor Hawks, and they're the only team that hasn't thrown a shutout on the Cape. 2-2. Breaking ball fools Avidia, strike 3. First strikeout of the night for Pletka, and there's 2 away.
And even from the last time these two teams faced off back on July 2nd, there were a number of transactions just on the pitching side for the Harbor Hawks, just trying to do anything they can to jumpstart this pitching staff.
So now Shea Whitcomb, the second baseman from UC San Diego, will step in from the right side. And Shea shifted to the right side of the infield tonight for the Birds. Has played shortstop third, has gotten some action at DH. But now will man second base tonight for Kelly Nicholson's squad. Last of the second at Eldridge Park, Hyannis and Orleans, nothing apiece. McCabe aboard at first. Pletka's first pitch. Fastball just misses off the plate for ball 1. Whitcomb up to 229 on the summer. Pair of home runs and 7 RBIs. Reached base last night with a walk against the Mariners. Puck is set. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball hit hard to the left side, past the dive of Westberg into left field for a base hit. Shea Whitcomb continues his hot hitting. He's aboard for the first time tonight, and the Birds 2 runners on base with 2 away.
And as Ken Nicholson would say, it's all about collecting base hits together. McCabe obviously singled with 1 down, and then with 2 outs, Whitcomb follows it up with a single of his own. And the Firebirds can try to take a lead here early on in this ball game.
So that will bring up the top of the Birds lineup with Jacob Hurtubise, the center fielder from Army. 2 on with 2 away in the bottom half of the second at Eldridge Park. Hurtubise trying to break this scoreless tie. Puck is set, first pitch. Breaking ball tails in for ball 1. Hurtubise flew out his first time up to Rigsby Mosley. Made solid contact out to right, but found the glove of Mosley. Hurtubise, a great interview yesterday with our very own Scotty Gage. We hope you check that out on our YouTube and Twitter. 1-0 the count, the pitch. Fastball punched out to shallow left field. However, ranging into his right, is able to make the grab for the final out of the inning. So the Birds able to rack up another 2 hits in the frame, but the Firebirds unable to score. Orleans scores no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 runners left on base. After 2, Firebirds and Harborhawks scoreless. And let's send it over to Scotty Gage to talk about a very important message. Scotty, I don't know if we're hitting the ho-ho home run yet.
No.
But I'll let you take the honors.
Okay, well, we've got our new Land Ho correspondent, James, here with the what is this, the donations table?
Yes, admissions table, right field. Catch me there most nights.
All right, you can catch him there most nights. And you can catch Coach Kelly and a couple of the Birds at Land Ho on Tuesday, because we've got edition 2 of Lunches with Kelly and Lunches with the Birds. It's going to be really, really cool. You get to hear the inside scoop of all the Firebirds, and it's a panel discussion. James, I'll ask you, are you going to go?
Of course I will, because if you know, you'll go to the Land Ho. Am I right? I'm right.
It really is going to be fun. We're going to get a full-on Land Ho discussion later with James, right?
Really? Of course. That's why I'm here. Promote Land Ho, my favorite place, because you hit a ho-ho home run.
That was fantastic. But seriously, on Tuesday, it's going to be fun. Tuesday at noon at Land Ho, Lunches with Kelly and Lunches with the Birds. We're going to get 3 players. We're going to get Coach Kelly, and it's open to everybody in the town of Orleans. We're going to film it, too, to be up on our YouTube page later, but it's going to be really exciting. James, thanks for the time. I'll see you on Tuesday, right?
Of course. Anytime for you, Scotty.
All right, guys, we'll send it back to you.
So we'll see James, Scotty, Kelly, and the Birds Tuesday at Land Ho, but right tonight, on a Thursday evening at Eldridge Park, the Firebirds and the Harborhawks scoreless. First pitch from Owen Shards. Fastball paints the outside corner for strike 1. Firebirds and Harborhawks scoreless in the top of the third in Orleans, Massachusetts. Mitch McIntyre leads off this frame for Hyannis. 0-1. Fastball down low, and it's 1-1. McIntyre was at the dish when the second inning ended for Hyannis. Jared DeSantalo was thrown out, caught stealing, 2-6. Sharts out of the windup, the 1-1. Breaking ball bounces low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So it's 7, 8, and 9 in this inning for Hyannis. McIntyre, Servideo, and Hackenberg against Owen Sharts, who's faced the minimum through the first 2 innings. Sharts behind the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball dots the outside corner, and it's 2-2. McIntyre, his second go-around on the Cape. Just appeared in 1 ball game last year for Hyannis, and it came on the mound. A scoreless frame and struck out 1. 2-2. Breaking ball tails off the dish, and the count runs full.
Just interesting that you can pitch an inning on the mound last year and come back as a hitter the next. Don't see that very often.
Primarily a hitter this summer, but has also seen action on the bump. 3-2, hit right to the first baseman Raymond Gill, gobbles it up, trots to the bag, and there's 1 away. So Sharts has set down 6 of the first 7 and has faced the minimum over the first 7 hitters. And Anthony Servideo will dig in for his first licks tonight. Servideo, the second baseman out of Ole Miss, struggling. Just batting $153. First pitch. Breaking ball skips in for ball 1. Servideo has not fared well against the Orleans Firebirds, rather. 0 for 8. 1-0. Fastball up in the zone, down the right field line, it's a fair ball. Servideo takes the turnaround from first, dug out by Britton down the right field corner. Britton's throw will go into second, but not in time, as Servideo cruises in for the first hit for Hyannis tonight.
Well, that ball by Servideo just squeezing in down the right field line, a pitch up in the zone, and Servideo gets the hands around quickly and just pulls it. As that one bounced probably less than an inch from the chalk on the first base side of the infield dirt, and then just rolled all the way down towards the hill in the right field corner.
So now a chance for Hyannis to get on the board first at Eldridge Park, with Orleans and Hyannis nothing apiece. Servidio's aboard at second with one away, and Adam Hackenberg, the batter for the Harbor Hawks. First pitch. Fastball dots the outside corner for strike one. Hackenberg, the catcher out of Clemson, playing in his 13th game this summer, comes from a huge pipeline in his athletic family. Righty on righty matchup. Schartz checks on the runner at second. The 0-1 home. Fastball fouled back to the screen. It's 0-2. Now, most famously known as his older brother Christian, who played for the New York Jets after starring at Penn State. His dad Eric also played on the gridiron for the Virginia Cavaliers. But don't count out his mom. His mother Nicole played volleyball at Lehigh. His other brother Brandon played soccer for the Nittany Lions, and his uncle JD played football at Army. 0-2. Fastball caught on a miss, strike three. Owen Schartz, his first K of the night, and there's two away.
Well, Owen Schartz just disposing of Hackenberg on 3 pitches. A good pitch sequence there that ends with a fastball above the letters and gets Hackenberg swinging.
So Jordan Westberg will bat for the second time tonight. Shortstop from Mississippi State, who popped up on just 2 pitches to lead off this ball game. Schartz looking to strand a runner on base for the first time tonight. First pitch, wicked breaking ball from the right-hander that fools Westberg for strike one. Just a sweeping slider from Schartz that had one of the finest hitters in the Cape so far off balance. Westberg just his 7th game with the Harbor Hawks, but is hitting .480. Has 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. The 0-1. Breaking ball nubbed off the end of the bat, and it's 0-2. Westberg an 0 for night last night for the first time this summer. Did not pick up a hit in his 5 at-bats and struck out once. 6'3", 206-pound middle infielder, originally from Texas. Out to Mississippi State, reached the College World Series for the 2nd consecutive year. Schartz set at the belt, checks on the runner at second, 0-2. Breaking ball runs high and tight, and it's 1-2. Now, we talked about the athletic bloodlines in Adam Hackenberg's family, but Jordan Westberg, not a bad athlete himself. A 3-sport star in high school, played football and basketball in Texas. Decided to go with baseball, and it's paid out so far. Hit .294 this past spring at Mississippi State. 1-2. Breaking ball tipped into Ovidia's glove. He squeezes it, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Owen Schartz, and the right-hander from Nevada has faced 10 batters over the first 3 innings. Hyannis strikes across their first hit of the ballgame, but they are unable to score. The Harbor Hawks score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After 2.5, Firebirds nothing and Harbor Hawks nothing. And Thomas, for the first time tonight, let's look around the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Well, just one 5 o'clock game starting out and YD at Red Wilson Field. The Red Sox lead the Whitecaps 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Over in Harwich at White House, top of the 5th inning, Kettleers with a slim 1-0 lead over Harwich. And then out at Splain Field off the Cape in Wareham. The Gaben and the Braves knotted up at 2 in the top of the 3rd inning. Over in Veterans Field, Commodores in the early 2-0 lead over the Anglers in the top of the 2nd inning. And then here in Orleans, heading into the bottom of the 3rd inning, still a scoreless ball game. So YD, okay, they hold on to that game. They'll move to 31 points, which would be a tie with Chatham for first in the East Division. Seems like those 2 teams are going neck and neck for most of this season. Orleans just 3 points off the top of the lead. After they won 5 in a row, dropped 6, and now have won back-to-back games, looking to make it 3.
Now, Thomas, if there were favorites on the Cape, if you will. If teams, there were betting lines or such. YDU probably favorited to win that game over Brewster. And then in Chatham, that could be a very interesting contest between the Anglers and the Commodores.
And it makes an interesting case out in the West as well. Falmouth just 4 points off the lead, 3 points from second, and they continue to climb in that West Division.
So Cole Pletka, the big right-hander from Dayton, heads back out for the third. But the Firebirds trying to break this scoreless tie. Zach Britton, the right fielder from Louisville, steps into the left side. First pitch from the right-hander. Fastball misses inside for ball one. Britton reached on an error his first time up, but was thrown out trying to advance to second. Pletka winds and fires the 0-1. Breaking ball clobbered down the right field line, but Britton out in front deposits it onto the upper part of the right field hill for strike one.
Britton got a good piece of wood on that one, just pulled it over the hill. That would have been good for extra bases for sure.
2, 3, and 4 in this inning for the Firebirds. 1-1. Breaking ball above the letters. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, Britton got a night off last night, which has been rare for him so far this summer. I think he played 11 straight games to open the summer for the Birds. 2-1 from Pletka. Breaking ball just misses off the dish. Hackenberg tried framing, but to no avail, and it's 3-1. And Britton has been a doubles machine, tied for 7th in the Cape with 5 two-baggers. Pletka walks around the mound trying to shake off the no call. 3-1. Breaking ball popped up behind the dish, but the catcher Hackenberg runs out of room. This ends up in the woods beyond Route 28, and it's 3-2.
Well, if Max Trani's a singles machine, Zach Britton's a double machines, we just need a triple machine and a home run machine, and we'll complete the cycle of machines.
Well, I think other teams have a home run machine. I don't think there's anyone in the Cape that you can dub a triples machine just yet.
That's true. It's obviously probably the toughest one to have a triples machine unless they had about 3 or 4 this year already.
Now, the guy who led the Cape early last summer in triples was someone who is 5'11" and 225 pounds. Pletka out of the winds-up. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball ties up Britton. He couldn't lay off, strike 3. So Britton goes down the second K for Cole Pletka, and there's 1 away. Now, do you have a guess of who that was? This is right in your wheelhouse.
I want to say Chris Gallen had a couple of triples, not him, though.
It was not him because he's not 5'11", 225. Now, I guess this guy's only listed at 215, but he's 225. Gabe Rivera had a couple early triples last summer.
Wow, I just totally don't remember any of those. But
played for the Mariners. First pitch to Max Troiani. Fastball well upstairs for ball 1. Looks like me trying to throw out the first pitch.
Well, a similar guy I know with triples, Evan Gaddis, when he was at the Astros a couple years ago at Minute Maid Park, actually was top 3 in the league in triples. I think we might have been leading the league in triples.
1 out of Troiani. Fastball dots the outside corner, and it's 1-1.
And Evan Gaddis, a guy that's a catcher, DH, outfielder, not a, Michael Bourne-esque type of player.
Pletka with the gloves set at the belt. Now comes to the squat. Winds and fires the 1-1. Fastball runs off the dish. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Orleans and Hyannis, nothing to show for either side for the first 2+ innings. There's 1 away in the last of the third with the 3-hole hitter, Max Troiani, who has a single tonight, back in. Pletka nods his cap. 2-1 coming. Fastball tipped into Hackenberg's glove, and it's 2-2. So Troiani now, after that base hit in the first, 6 for 10 against the Harbor Hawks this summer. There hasn't been anyone who's really been able to get him out. That average now back above 315 for the rising senior out of Bentley. Hackenberg rocks and fires the 2-2. Fastball hit hard to the right side, under the glove of DeSantelo, into right field for a base hit. We'll see how that one is scored, but it might be another multi-hit performance for Max Troiani, and it would be his 10th multi-hit game of the summer, which leads the Cape.
Yeah, Max Troiani just poking one under the glove of DeSantelo at first base. Another hard-hit ball. He's a guy that chokes up on the barrel, just makes perfect contact almost every time he connects the barrel to the ball.
So Troiani, a 1-out base knock as it's officially scored a single for the DH. And Raymond Gill, the batter for the Firebirds. First pitch home. Fastball taken low for ball 1. So Hyannis, the worst pitching team in the Cape. We gave you the numbers a little while ago, and we'll spare the Harbor Hawks their ears. To add to it, they've walked the most batters, they've allowed the most home runs, and it doesn't get better with the defense either. They're less in fielding percentage and errors. Pletka tosses over to first, and now it's ruled a balk. He had Troiani caught in a rundown, but the first base umpire, Vicente Alex Medina, pointed at the back foot of Pletka, and now Chad Gaspin will emerge out of the third base dugout. Let's see if Gaspin would like an explanation. So it looked like Pletka might have moved the right foot first, and we'll check out the replay. We've got a little system set up here at Eldridge Park. We can't send it to Hyannis for video review, but we can look at it ourselves. So Gaspin doesn't get the call overturned. He's back in the third base dugout. We're still going over the video to see if, in fact, it was a balk to the naked eye. And it was. So Vicente Alexander Medina had the call right. He had Troiani digging towards second, who's awarded the bag after the balk. So the Birds trying to break this scoreless tie with a runner on second and 1 away. 1-0. Looping curveball drops in on the outside part, and it's 1-1.
And now it's prime run hunting season for the Firebirds with just 1 down. Runner in scoring position with Troiani over at second base, and a guy like Ray Gell with 9 runs driven in so far this year.
So I don't think anyone is surprised at Max Troiani getting another single. And I don't think Firebirds fans would be surprised if Raymond Gill drove in a run. He's tied for the team lead with 9 RBIs. 1-1. Fastball up in the zone, big hack, and it's 1-2. Gill in a little bit of a run, that average dropping down to 218. But again, it started to work some better ABs. 12 walks for the power-hitting first baseman from Miami. So he entered tonight with a 218 batting average, but an on-base percentage 140 points higher at 358. Troiani extends his lead off second, 1-2. Heater up in the zone, waved down and missed, strike 3. Second K of the inning for Pletka, his third of the night, and there's 2 down.
Pletka seems to do amping things up here in this half inning. Struck out Britton, and now Ray Gill here in this third inning.
So Zach Kokoska, who's back in the lineup for the Birds, after getting 2 nights off, will dig in for his second AB. Kokoska flew out to end the first. First pitch from Pletka, bouncing breaking ball, knocked down by Hackenberg. Troiani's digging for third, throw to third base in time. And now he's ruled safe. So the ball beat Troiani by a mile. Troiani slid on the far side of the bag. Olsen applied the tag, held on to the ball. The third base umpire ruled him safe, and Chad Gaspin beside himself. Out of the third base dugout, hands on his hips, and now he'll come out to have a word.
Yeah, he's trotting over there. Troiani did the old Olay there, and then just lifted his left arm up, a little like Superman, and got the right hand around.
So Gaspin does his best disappointed father look. Walks out to third base, says, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed."
It's the second time that he's come out as well.
So we'll see how that one scored, whether a wild pitch or a pass ball. But nonetheless, the Birds have the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Firebirds and Harbor Hawks scoreless in the last of the third. Zach Kokoska, the left fielder from Kansas State, trying to break the tie. 1-0, fastball above the letters. It's 2 balls and no strikes. And I got to say, I'm very impressed by Chad Gaspin's composure tonight. If I were Gaspin, I would have blown my gasket.
Especially 2 things like that in 1 inning.
2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, and it's 2-1. Now, last summer, the Harbor Hawks and the Firebirds faced off at McKeon Park, and Gaspin got tossed in the first inning. It was a rocket of a shot down the left field line. Now, the ball landed foul, and I think even the batter thought it was foul. But Gaspin thought it was fair in a home run that gave the Harbor Hawks the lead, got his money's worth, threw some baseballs on the field, and was tossed. Now, Thomas, if I'm going to be thrown out from a baseball game, I do what I can. I throw a major fit.
We've seen some funny things. You can always think of Lou Piniella throwing first base, cover up home play. We've seen that before.
2-1. Fastball hit hard to the right side, right at the second baseman. Servideo gloves it down, sidearm throw to first, and Pletka works around the jam. So the Birds pick up another base hit. Triani advances all the way to third, but the Firebirds are unable to break this scoreless tie. After 3 complete innings at Eldridge Park, Firebirds and Harborhawks nothing to show for, as Orleans scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. And Scotty Gaines looking as sharp as ever, standing next to Kelly Nicholson. Scotty?
Thank you, Josh. Coach, 3 innings through for Owen Scharz, 3 clean and quick innings. How long are we expecting to see him today?
Probably 5. It'll be 5 and out, and then we're going to go to Angelo Smith from Michigan.
On the other side of or continuing on your defense, we saw yesterday and today as well, Eddie McCabe and Tanner Murray flip-flop from third base to shortstop. What was the game plan in that?
Well, Eddie's played mostly third this year at Georgetown, and Tanner's played mostly short at UC Davis, so we thought we'd just make that switch, and I told him that's the way it's going to be the rest of the year for the most part.
Today is clinic day, Coach. There's kids around Orleans are all here watching the game. How cool is that to be the manager here?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see those little dudes and dudettes run out there for the national anthem. It's fun.
They were fantastic on the national anthem. You really taught them well, so good job for you.
All right, thank you.
Good luck the rest of the way.
All
Thanks
right,
so much,
Scotty.
Coach.
Thanks.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
And thank you, Scotty. Scotty Gaines, as always, doing an excellent job with Kelly Nicholson, the manager for the Orleans Firebirds. Here in the top of the 4th inning from Eldridge Park, it's still a scoreless ball game between the Hyannis Harborhawks and the Orleans Firebirds. Rigsby Mosley, the right fielder, will start off from the left side against Owen Schartz, the right-hander. Schartz, the windup, first pitch curveball, bounces in, hits off the mask of David Avidia for ball 1. So far for the Harborhawks, only 1 hit. And that was just last inning, and 1 out double by Anthony Servideo. 1-0 pitch, fastball. Just missing the outside edge. David Avidia doing his best frame job, just not enough. 2 balls and no strikes on Mosley, 2-0. Fastball once again just missing the knees. Count heads to 3-0. And Mosley, the right fielder tonight in this lineup for Chad Gassman. We've seen him played all over so far this year. 3-0. Fastball just catches the outside corner. Mosley's ready to toss the bat to the third base side. 3 balls and a strike. Mosley back at Troy this year, hit .356. 19 doubles, which is good for 6 in the Sun Belt. 3-1 pitch is left it high there down the left field side. Going down is Kokoska towards the corner, and he makes the catch. Kokoska chasing down a ball near the wall and in the corner, and takes one away from Rigsby Mosley. So as a pitcher on the hill, when you have a catcher like Avidia behind the dish and then a defense like the Firebirds we have seen at times this year, just gives you a little more confidence on the mound. So 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Trevor Hover, left fielder out of Arizona State, first pitch swinging, cut on a miss on a changeup for strike 1. Hover, last time these two teams played back on July 2nd, worked 4 walks in that ballgame, was 0 for 1, scored twice, and was walked 4 times. 0-1 pitch check swing. And does not go around, says the third base umpire, as no. So count as a ball and a strike here on Hover, the 3-hole hitter for the Harborhawks. 1-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen. Count as a ball and 2 strikes on the left fielder. Hover so far this year, just batting .229. Has another game where he walked 3 times. He's worked 18 walks this year, so in 2 games alone, he's 7 of his 18 walks. 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses above the letters. Count 2 balls in, 2 strikes. Hover grounded out back in the 1st inning, right back to the pitcher at Owen Schartz. 2-2. Curveball is popped high in the air, but out of play over Route 28. Count remains 2 balls in, 2 strikes. So Cal Nicholson with Scotty Gaines at the end of last half inning saying Schartz will go 5. 2-2 pitch from Schartz. This one skied up on the left side of the infield, but it'll just find the seats. This time bouncing on Route 28. It came very close that time to a Ford SUV going down Route 28. Probably the closest one we've seen so far. I would call it
Nightmares, Thomas.
Scott, at least you're not driving down Route 28. 2-2 pitch, fastball up and inside as Hover raises the arms.
Thomas, you would never wish anything bad on anyone, but you've been kind of looking forward to that this summer.
I'm telling you,
in a weird, twisted way.
It happens every summer. Get to hear a nice, loud bang. 2-2 from Owen Schartz. Fastball outside corner, strike 3. And Haver goes down looking for Owen Schartz's third strikeout. Picked up 2 in the third to end things. Struck out Hackerberg and then Westberg. And now strikes out Haver, the second hitter in this half inning. So 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Still a scoreless ball game between Hyannis and Orleans. Hunter Goodman, the DH, from the right side, takes the first pitch fastball. That bounces into the mitt of Avidia for ball 1. Again, Goodman, the DH, out of Memphis. Light some catcher back for the Tigers. Taps home plate twice, a little bit open stance from the right side. 1-0 fastball in on the hands, fouled off the pole behind toe plate. Bounces right to the on-deck circle. So the bat kids did literally not have to move on that. Got 1 ball and 1 strike as Sharks looks to work a scoreless 4th inning here. 1-1 to Goodman. Fastball chopped right back. His man up the middle. Diving stop. Just gets past the diving Tanner Murray up the middle and into center field for a base hit. As Goodman is aboard for the first time this evening. It's the Harbor Hawks' second hit here with 2 down at the top of the 4th. So now Jackson Olsen, the third baseman out of the University of Hartford, comes around, makes a long walk from the third base dugout to the left side. So Owen Schartz working from the stretch. First pitch, fastball misses above the letters for ball 1. Just the 3rd time tonight that he's had to do so. DeSanto reached on an error back in the 2nd, then the double from Servadio last inning, and now a single from Goodman here. Schartz comes set from the belt. 1-0. Bounces the dirt, gets away from Avidia. Going towards second base, throw down from Avidia. It's a bullet down to second, but just getting in is Hunter Goodman. It was a good throw from Avidia. The ball only got away from maybe a foot or 2, but Goodman with a good jump. It takes second base. So Goodman now over at second base. Count 2 balls and no strikes on Jackson Olsen. As Hines tries to open up this ball game here on the top of the 4th, still a scoreless ball game. 2-0 pitch to Olsen. Wow, speed just a little bit too far inside. Almost a gut check for Olsen as he bends out of the way. So count 3 balls and no strikes here on Jackson Olsen. Owen Schartz, 34 strikes, 19 balls so far through 3 2/3. 3-0. Fastball at the knees for strike 1. As Schartz looks to work backwards in this count after falling behind 3-0. We're not doing too much here today in Orleans, just blowing out slightly towards right center. Not much, though. 3-1 from Schartz. This one skied up on the left side of the infield in towards foul ground. Goes to third baseman McCabe. Over towards the third base coach's box. Just in front of it. And McCabe will make the catch in foul ground for the 3rd out. So after 3.5, it's still a scoreless ballgame. Again, Hyannis, no runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 man left on base after 3.5. Harbor Hawks and the Firebirds not up at 0-0. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Yeah, it's definitely been a nice transition, and it'll be a rough transition when I have to go back to school in August.
So how is that for you? I watched your day in the life video, like I just told you, and you said I wake up at 5:55. I've got cleaning in the morning, platoon cleaning, and then you've got formation, and then class, and then breakfast, and then another class, and then lunch, and then dean's hour, and then class, and I'm running out of breath just talking about it. And then you play baseball for like 4 hours at the end of the day. How is that for you?
Like I said earlier, it's a grind every single day. You kind of fall into a rhythm, though, which is really nice, and it's kind of something that I enjoy having, that kind of everyday cycle that we go through. We wake up, we go to breakfast, we do this. It kind of drags on. It makes the day super long, but it's very rewarding, and I've seen dividends of that just in my life.
What especially in terms of that, specifically dividends?
I would say just like a lot of patience, being able to do things diligently, just daily tasks, talking to people. The Army is known to be a people business, so just all the interactions that I've been able to have with different officers, different peers. So I think that's just going to help me thrive later in the future.
You talk about later in the future, but I'm wondering in the past, were you a kid that grew up and always wanted to be at Army West Point and always had that dream and inspiration, or was it something that kind of came your senior year of high school?
Yeah, it kind of came my senior year of high school. I actually didn't even know what Army West Point was until I started.
And that was Jacob Hurtubise, the center fielder for the Firebirds out of Army. You can check the full interview out on YouTube. So leading things off here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Tanner Murray, the shortstop out of UC Davis. Digs in from the right side against the right-hander, Pletka. First pitch, slider. Misses on the outside edge for strike one. Pletka so far just 4 hits. But the Firebirds have stranded 5 here through 3+. 0-1 from Pletka. Fastball fouled behind the dish. Count 0-2 on Tanner Murray, the shortstop. So as Kellen Nicholson mentioned, a little bit of swip swap for the rest of the season. McCabe, who plays more third base at Georgetown, will play third for most of the rest of this Cape League season. A Murray guy who plays mostly shortstop back at school. We'll get the nod over there as the 0-2 pitch. About a 57-foot curveball that skips in front of the plate. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tanner Murray. Murray hitting .233 here on the Cape. Has been swinging a hot bat for the Firebirds. It's in 6 of his last 7 games. The average has gone from 195 to .233. 1-2. Fastball cut on a miss for strike 3. And Murray goes down swinging to start things off here in the 4th inning. That is the 4th punch out for Cole Pletka. All 4 coming in the last 2 and a third inning now. So now Aiden McCabe, the third baseman, who follows Tanner Murray. Again, bottom of the 4th here from Eldridge Park. Still a scoreless ball game. First pitch to Eddie. Curveball that just trickles past the catcher Hackenberg. Ball in the dirt. Count of ball, no strikes. And Firebirds looking to strike first in this ball game, trying to win 3 in a row. 1-0 to McCabe. Fastball paints the outside corner for strike 1. Count opens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Pletka so far, 35 strikes, 24 balls through 3 and a third. Pletka from the windup, the 1-1. Fastball is hit hard on the ground towards the left side of the infield. Backhanded by Westberg. Throw a strong throw. Can't pick it at first. It's DeSantelo as it will trickle back towards the screen. But the catcher Hackenberg is there to back the throw up. But McCabe will reach. Should go down as an error, and it does.
Yeah, and Thomas, that was a great play by Jordan Westberg, but this is what Hyannis has done this summer. They've made the routine play. They just can't complete it. And that's let a lot of teams have a lot of opportunities, and you think of why Hyannis is clearly the worst team in the league. It's because of plays like that. It's their league-leading 38th error.
Yeah, you definitely can't give, especially here in the Cape, you can't give a team 4 or 5 outs in half an inning. That would just kill you long term. First pitch swinging, David Ovidio. Cut on a miss for strike 1. So go as an E3 over at first base on DeSantelo. His second error in this ball game. 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. McCabe over at first base. 0-1 Ovidio. Fastball pumped up in the zone. Cut on a miss for strike 2. Count 0-2. So Ovidio so far this year, 3 RBIs. Again, 8 for 45 after starting about 0 for 20. 0-2 pitch to Ovidio. Pitch out. Throw down to first base from Hackenberg. Just sliding back in. Head first is McCabe. Perfect throw by Hackenberg as right to Santolo on the inside corner of the bag. And all the Santolo had to do was pretty much just apply the tag. Didn't move the glove that much. So count a ball and 2 strikes on the catcher from Grand Canyon as he waves his bat to Pletka. was working from the stretch. Comes set from the belt. 1-2. Fastball upstairs, cut on a miss for strike 3. So 2 strikeouts now in this half inning. There are 2 down as Pleka showcasing the fastball there that can get into the low to mid-90s. Blows it by Avidia. So with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning, McCabe over at first base as the Firebirds look to draw first blood. It's still a scoreless ball game. So 9 the 9-hole hitter Shea Whitcomb from the right side. First pitch fastball misses upstairs for ball 1. Whitcomb, who has one of the 5 hits tonight for the Firebirds. He singled back in the 2nd inning. Pleka trying to work around yet another hit here. He's done it successfully 4 for 4 so far. 1-0 Osby misses down to the zone. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Wickham also, again, swinging a hot bat at the dish. Hits in 4 of his last 6 games. Was 1 for 3 against Hyannis back on July 2nd. Included a double and a walk, and he also scored. Open stance from the right side. 2-0 from Pletka. Fastball at the knees for strike 1. As Pletka trying to work backwards in this count. Again, the Firebirds have stranded 5 so far through the first 3 innings. Two one. Fastball clips the inside corner. Kahneman's back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cervetti, the second baseman, shaded up more towards the second base bag. Infield back all across the board. DeSantolo over at first base holding on to McCabe. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-2 pitch. Fastball is popped up high there on the right side of the infield. Second baseman Cervetti charging in. For the third baseman goes across the mound, and it bobbles and it drops. Olsen couldn't hold on. Again, it was literally right on top of the rubber. All 4 infielders converging on before Olsen calls off Cervetti, and Westberg hits off the glove and drops over towards the first base bag.
Thomas, now, I know it goes down as an error, but that's a very, very tough play. Olsen goes from right on the third base side, charges all the way to the mound. Now, it would be easy if he was still on flat ground. He had to go up the hill, hope that no one was going to crash into him, and try and make the grab. So although it is the 3rd error of the night for Hyannis and looks in the box score as bad news bears, it's actually a tough play.
That's probably one of the toughest balls as showing bunt as Hurtubise bunts it right back up in front of the home plate area as Hackenberg throws a missile down the first base, and Hurtubise is retired. So the Firebirds try to strike there in that half inning. No runs on 1 hit. 2 errors and 2 men left on base after 4. It's still a scoreless ball game here from Eldridge Park. We'll step aside. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Here's the 1-2 pitch again. It's a breaker that Samuelson just looked like he was swinging a tennis racket at and couldn't make contact. It's the 2nd strikeout of the inning for Wilcox. And they
way to go back in there for Andrew Abbott. 1-2 fast.
The 1-0 pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1. And you
Top of the 5th inning. Still a scoreless ball game between the Harbor Hawks and the Firebirds. Thomason's Villager alongside Josh White here on the Birds Broadcast Network. As DeSantolo, McIntyre, and Cervidio. The 3 Harbor Hawks due up in this half inning. Last inning for Owen Schartz. Kel Nicholson mentioned to Scotty Gage after the 3rd that Schartz was going to go 5. And then Angelo Smith was going to come in for the Birds. First pitch to left-hander DeSantolo. Fastball at the belt for strike 1. DeSantolo reached on an error back in the second, was then thrown out attempting to steal second base. Good throw from the catcher, Ovidio. 0-1 curveball bounces in. As Ovidio makes the block. Got a ball and a strike. Sun almost pretty much down in the sky here from Eldridge Park. As the 1-1 pitch to Santalo slices one down or towards left field. Coming in is Kokoska as he halts just in front and makes the grab for the first out. So the Santalo guy that is batting .363, one of the best hitters on the Cape, unfortunately doesn't get a good break there as Kokoska catches the line drive. So one down here in the top of the fifth inning. Owen Sharts threw 4 1/3. He's thrown 38 strikes and 22 balls. Good for 60 pitches. First pitch curveball. Cut on a miss by Mitch McIntyre. Swung right over that big bender. Count 0-1. Infield back all the way around for the Firebirds. 0-1 to McIntyre, to left-hander. He skies it up on the right side of the infield into the outfield. Drifting in as Hurtubise as the center fielder comes in. Will make the catch for out number 2. So Owen Sharts continues to dazzle on the mound.
Thomas, I feel like we talk about it every night, but the key to this sharp performance, first pitch strikes. Throwing a lot of strikes, filling up the zone. And Hyannis knows he's going to get strikes, and they swing early.
So 2 outs here. Anthony Cervedio takes the first pitch off speed for strike 1. And that's why first pitch strike percentage can help you or it can hurt you. If you aren't going to pound the zone, hitters might try to jump on the first pitch. 0-1 off speed just doesn't come down quite enough. Misses high. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, top of the fifth, nobody aboard, 2 down. 1-1, fastball blown right by Cervedio. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cervedio so far. One of the 2 hits for the Harbor Hawks as the 1-2. Off speed comes up and in as Cervedio bends his back out of the way from the left side. Cervedio doubled in the 3rd inning. That was the first hit for the Harbor Hawks. 2-2 pitch is lifted out towards center field. Center fielder Hurtubise tracks it down, takes 2 steps back, makes a catch for the 3rd out. So Owen Sharts, another spectacular outing here on Cape Cod. He goes 5 strong innings and has kept the Harbor Hawks bats at bay. Just the 2 hits allowed after 4 1/2. It's still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park as the Firebirds bats will come up to try to break open this ball game. As we'll take a look around the East and West Division standings again. Chatham, best team on the Cape in the East Division as well, with 15-10-1 with 31 points in first. Whitey following up closely behind them, 14-10-1 with 29 points. Orleans not far back behind either. They have 28 points. 13-10-2 is the Firebirds' record. The Whitecaps follow the Firebirds with a 12-11-1 record, 25 points, and the Mariners 12-14 with 24 points. They round out the bottom. Out on the Upper Cape, the West Division, the game at 14-11-1, 29 points. Close race out there between the top 3 teams. Katua just 1 point behind with 28, 13-11-2. Falmouth just a couple of points behind at 25 points, 12-10-1. Bourne with 20 points, they are a 10-14 record. Then Hyannis rounding out the bottom, 5-19-1 with 11 points. So the Harbor Hawks will go to the bullpen here in the bottom of the 5th inning, as Ian Fair has checked into the ball game for Jared DeSantolo after his 2 errors in this ball game.
Yeah, and I think the move makes sense. DeSantolo has been one of the best hitters on the Cape, but he's not a natural first baseman. At Florida Atlantic, more of a middle infielder trying to adjust. But how about 5 strong innings from Cole Pletka? I think that was a question mark for Hyannis coming into the night. Not just Pletka, but their pitching as a whole. And Pletka in his first start here on the Cape delivers 4 very solid innings.
And Cole Pletka, 4 innings, 5 hits, does not allow a run, 1 walk, and 5 punch-outs. So kind of the start that Chad Gassman was hoping for. Pretty picture-perfect especially since the Harborhawks have the highest ERA in the league, almost towards 8. So Patrick Fredrickson out of Minnesota takes the hill. 6'6", 220. The rising junior, again from Minnesota. When you think of Minnesota, not a big baseball school, big hockey school, and football. First pitch is Zach Brennan, left-hander. He raises the elbows, but it's at the letters for strike 1. Brennan reaching there back in the first, then struck out in the third. Right-hander kicks and deals to the left-hander as the 0-1 bounces in, gets past the glove of Hackenberg. Count a ball and a strike. So Fredrickson making his 6th appearance. He's already made 2 starts here on Cape Cod, 0-1 with a 9.22 ERA through 13 2/3. 12 strikeouts, though, as the 1-1 fastball misses high for ball 2, count 2-1. He's walked 10, though, through those 13 2/3 and has allowed 24 hits for the Harborhawks. Fredrickson, the 2-1. Osby misses low and in. Count 3-1. Again, here in the bottom of the 5th inning, still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. Nobody on, nobody out as Zach Britton leads his inning off. 3-1 to pitch, a fastball at the belt. Cut on a miss as Zach Britton really wanted that one. Fredrickson, who can pump that fastball around the 93 to 96 range, also features a curveball, slider, and changeup mix. So a 4-tool guy. 3-2 from Fredrickson. Fastball just getting a piece of it is Britton, who fouls it off the knee pad of Hackenberg. So count is 3 balls and 2 strikes once again. From the windup, Fredrickson holds the orange-type glove to his face. The payoff pitch. Off-speed cut on a miss for a strike through. Looked like a changeup there. That got it right by Britton as he goes down swinging for the 2nd time tonight. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. So with 1 down here, it's Max Troiani, who has collected 2 base knocks tonight, 2 of the 5 hits for the Firebirds as he continues to rake here on Cape Cod. First pitch of the right-hander, fastball at the eyes for ball 1. Troiani was stranded over at third base back in the 3rd inning. He advanced on a balk and then a wild pitch. 1-0, fastball down at the knees, cut on a miss for strike 1. Count 1-1. Fredrickson working quickly from the hill. Gets a sign from Hackenberg, kicks and deals. 1-1. Fastball runs low and outside for ball 2. Again, this is a Firebirds-esque type of game, a pitcher's duel where not much offense is shown. Again, whoever scores first will more likely win this ball game. 2-1 to pitch is off the edge of the barrel as it skips up the first base line past first base coach's box and Ryan Erickson as he jogs down a little bit. As Ian Fair, the newly entered first baseman for the Harborhawks, was ready to pounce on that one. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to Troiani. Curveball misses upstairs once again. So the first 2 hitters that Fredrickson has faced, they have worked it to a full count. Troiani chokes up on the barrel. The payoff pitch. Fastball reached for, grounded hard at the middle towards the second base in Servideo. Corrals it, throws on the run to first in time, and Troiani is retired. So nice defensive play by Servideo up the middle. And Fredrickson has retired the first 2 Firebirds here in the 5th. So nobody on, 2 down here. As Ray Gill, the first baseman from Miami, digs in towards the backside of the right-hander's batter's box to face the right-hander Fredrickson. First pitch from Gill. He pops one high in the out towards right field. Backing up a few steps is Mosley, just shy of the track. And Gill is retired for out number 3. As Fredrickson picks a scoreless 5th inning. After 5, it's the Harborhawks and the Firebirds still tied up at 0-0. And Scotty, you know, I love to eat in the middle of these innings, but I hear you got some interesting stuff to talk about, so we'll give it to you.
Well, Thomas, you can take a snack break because that's really all that I've been doing this week. Bird Bites. We're on edition 3. We've got edition 4 tomorrow. We're going to release who that is tomorrow. But edition 3 was Max Troiani. Me and him went to the Knack Tuesday. We enjoyed it. It was an avocado burger. I always get what the other guy gets. So Tanner Murray, he wanted just a burger with lettuce. Max Troiani, he liked the double avocado burger. So I was very, very full that day, but it was absolutely delicious. We had milkshakes. He had the peanut butter milkshake. He said it was very berry. And we had a really cool conversation about his internship that he actually pushed away and turned down to stay out here playing baseball, pursuing his passion, and mostly just his quest for success. He has a really, really cool outlook on life and outlook for working as hard as he can. That comes from family and his own personal inspirations and motivations. So I got to really deep dive into that over a fantastic meal because that, of course, is the best way to get to know somebody. So we're going to push that out on Sunday, and you're going to get to see the entire conversation. It was really, really fun to get to know Max even more. I think we all know that we know him very well. He's a really friendly guy, but I really got to know Max. The inside of Max Troiani was really, really cool.
And thank you, Scott. And now, Scott, I have a question for you.
Yeah, buddy.
If, let's say, one of the players gets some food that you don't like, do you still
Oh,
eat it?
yeah, I have to. See, it's because I'm just such like a nice guy. That's why.
Scotty, you're a nice guy.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Tanner Murray had onion rings. I didn't really, I mean, I love onion rings, but I wasn't eating so many of them because we had fries too. So, but I like the onion rings. And again, it was at the Knack, and the Knack is a fantastic place. Again, we're so thankful they're hosting us there because it really is fun, and it's the perfect spot for it. I'm not lying when I say this. It really is the perfect spot to do these Bird Bite specials.
Well, that's interesting. Fries and onion rings. Now, Scott, I have to say that the Knack has some pretty good onion rings.
Dude, I know. I like onion rings, but I can't eat a whole thing. I had like 3.
There used to be a place at Nauset Beach called Liam's, and it used to be called the Philbrooks before that, going back years. And those are the type of onion rings, a little bit flaky, you know.
So what makes an onion ring so good?
I mean, just like they serve them down there at the Knack. They're nice and thin, and you can, I don't know, it's just
They were good.
hot and ready, and you can get them, I can tell you.
I ate much more than I would normally eat in a basket of onion rings, so that should tell you something.
Well, Scott, I'll make sure if we go there to the Knack, I won't order fries and onion rings if we're going to split them. We'll just get one.
We'll split them.
Yeah, we'll split them. So the top of the 6th inning from Eldridge Park as the Harbor Hawks look to get on the board first. Adam Hackenberg, first pitch swinging, sends it right back on the middle of the line drive to center field to Hurtubise for a base knock. So new pitcher on the mound is Angelo Smith, the left-hander from Michigan. Michigan making it all the way to the College World Series. Owen Shart's line for the night, 5 innings, just 2 hits, does not allow a run, no walks, and 3 punch-outs. So Hackenberg over at first base. It's Jordan West for the shortstop out of Mississippi State. First pitch fastball clips the inside corner for strike 1. So Smith this past season, 23 appearances including 4 starts, pitched 31 1/3 innings with a 4.60 ERA. 0-1 a pitch, off speed of Westberg out of the zone. Wave and a miss for strike 2. Smith's ahead in the count, 0-2. Smith struck out 39 through those 31 1/3. Was a 40th round draft pick by the Chicago White Sox, a native of Thornton, Illinois. 0-2 pitch, curveball hit over towards the left side of the infield as McKay flips over to second base, back across the diamond. Not in time, but they will get the runner over at second in Hackenberg. So it's a fielder's choice for Westberg, who's safe over at second. So 1 down here in the top of the 6th inning. As Ringsby Mosley, the right fielder from Troy, digs in from the left side. Lefty-lefty matchup. Big swinging off-speed pitch, cut on a miss for strike 1. Mosley so far has a pair of flyouts, both to left field. Guy that's hitting .250 this year for the Harbor Hawks. Smith comes set from the stretch, kicks and fires. 0-1 pitch, just off the edge of the barrel, lifted over towards our broadcast position behind the dish. So count is no balls and 2 strikes on Mosley. Smith, a guy that kind of turns on the mound like a Johnny Cueto, just not as far. 0-2 pitch. This is a chopper over towards the on-deck circle on the first base side. Count remains 0-2. Again, this is Smith's first appearance here on Cape Cod, was just activated a few days ago, as he replaces Owen Sharks in this ball game, trying to preserve this tie. 0-2 pitch, off speed, cut on miss, first strike, 3. Mosley goes fishing at the pitch out of the zone, and there are 2 down here in the 6th inning.
How about that for Angelo Smith? First appearance on the Cape, first strikeout here in the CCBL. And I know Kelly Nicholson's excited to get another fresh arm in there, get another guy some more work. And you think about the last couple days for the Birds, they've had 2 solid wins, but almost equally as important, they've saved their bullpen. Obviously, Isaac Esqueda 6 shutout innings the other night, and that really sets you up moving forward.
Yeah, preserving that bullpen in this long Cape League season, a grueling one as well. Off-speed pitch misses low and outside. The left-hander Trevor Halver for ball 1. Especially the Firebirds are still in the midst of the 17 straight game stretch. They're near the back end of an off day coming Monday. Just trying to get through the rest of this weekend. Smith steps off the back rubber to check on Westberg. No throw over, but Westberg scurries back in standing. Got Westberg over at first base, reach on a fielder's choice after Hackenberg started off the inning with a single. 1-0 from Smith. Fastball in on the hands, popped up out of play down the third base side. Kind of ball and a strike. Smith looks in towards the catcher, Avidia. Comes set, the 1-1. Fastball right at the knees for strike 2. Got a ball and 2 strikes. Smith glances in, the 1-2 pitch, curveball in the dirt. Good block behind the dish from Avidia. Comes up to almost a full stance to block it. As Halver trying to work the count here, count 2-2. Halver so far over 2. Grounded out and a strikeout victim to Owen Sharts in the 4th. 2-2 pitch, curveball. Misses low and outside. Halver doesn't bite on the check swing. Count 3-2. Again, Halver, a guy that worked 4 walks the last time these two teams faced off. Trying to work another one here in this ball game. He has 18 on the season. 3-2 from Smith. A fly ball lifted high in the out towards straightaway center field. Hurtaby's on the run. Going back a little towards the left center. Just in front of the warning track. And will make the catch for out number 3. So Halver just didn't quite catch it all. As the Harborhawks, no runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 man left on base. After 5.5. It's still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. As we'll take a look around the Cape. So over in a YD, the Whitecaps scratch across 2 runs late in that ball game. Game called after 8 innings over at Red Wilson Field. 5-3 Red Sox win over the Whitecaps. So they're now tied currently with Chatham in first place in the East with 31 points. Chatham they are currently trailing the Commodores 6-2 at Veterans Field in the top of the 4th inning. Still a lot of ball game to be played. But it's a close ball game out there, just like at Springfield in Wareham. It's a 2-2 ball game now in the top of the 6th inning. And over in Harwich, it's a 1-0 Kettleers lead in the top of the 8th inning. So a lot of big games here on Cape Cod that can impact the standings. So Frederickson is back on the bump for the Harborhawks. For 14 pitches last half inning, 8 strikes and 6 balls. So now Zach Kokoska out of Kansas State will start things off from the Firebirds from the left side. Again, trying to break open this scoreless ball game. First pitch. Fastball at the belt for strike 1. Count 0-1. So Frederickson, a guy that came in with a 9.22 ERA, now in 6th appearance. Calm, cool, and collective so far. 0-1 at Kokoska. Fastball lined over towards left field. Coming in the left fielder, however, kind of jumped up a bit there as the ball took off on him. But a hard hit ball by Kokoska just right at the left fielder for the first out. So now one down here in the 6th. It's Tanner Murray, the shortstop from UC Davis. Lined out hard towards the center fielder. McIntyre back in the 2nd. Struck out in the 4th. Takes his time to settle in from the right side. Showing bunt, pulls it back. Just misses the knees. The fastball from Frederickson for ball 1. Again, Murray, a guy that's been swinging a hot bat at the plate for the Firebirds. 6 of his last 7 games as 1-0 pitches fouled back to the screen. Kind of ball and a strike. In last night's ball game against Harwich, 1 for 3 with a double. Picked up his 3rd double on the season. 1-1 to Murray. Off-speed pitch out in front as Murray cut on a miss for strike 2. Kind of ball and 2 strikes. So Fredrickson really using that fastball and then curveball slider combination up to its best here in this ball game. 1-2. Off-speed pitch, cut on a miss for strike 3. Murray goes fishing in a similar pitch to what he just did before, and he goes down swinging. 2 down here in the 6th. So a totally different Patrick Fredrickson we have seen here today. 2 down, nobody aboard here in the bottom of the 6th. Inning first pitch to Eddie McCabe. Fastball that bounces in towards Hackenberg for ball 1. Fredrickson kicks and deals. The 1-0 pitch rolled over down the third base line, but a foul. As it just gets past Jamie Quinn of the third base coaching box. One. Curveball that just finds the inside corner on Eddie McCabe. Counters the ball on 2 strikes. So McCabe takes a couple practice things before he steps back in. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball, wave and a miss for strike 3. And Fredrickson punches out the last 2 Firebirds here in this 6th inning. Firebirds go right down in order after 6. It's still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park as we're going to send it back to our friend on the hill in Scotty Gage.
Thomas, thanks, man. I think we can all agree that almost every single away game we go to, we find something to critique, to rate, to talk about in terms of the concessions. But we've never done it here at Eldridge. So here with our good friend Sam Martika. Sam, you got the popcorn today. I tried it too. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Definitely better than movie theater quality for sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
It was $6, was it?
It was. You know, if you bought this in the movie theater down the street, you'd be paying $30 for it. So definitely a good deal, a good snack to have mid-game.
A great bang for your buck, as some would say. Oh, yeah. What else is there? You went in for the soft pretzel, but they were out of soft pretzels. I hate to say it, but I've never even eaten at the concessions here at Eldridge. What's the go-to thing if there's a family member coming in town and they get hungry during the game?
So my good friend Cooper really loves the corn dog. So the corn dog's up there. Sausage and peppers, I've heard, is really good too. So
Thomas is a big corn dog guy.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, there's definitely a pretty good selection of food, and, you know, it's a perfect thing for grab, you know, in the middle of the 5th inning when you start to get hungry.
Do you think Thomas had a corn dog today?
I would bet that Thomas had 2 corn dogs today.
2 corn dogs. Thomas, how many corn dogs did you have today?
I did not have any corn
He
dogs
had no
today.
corn dogs, he just said.
And when I do, I usually get 1. I don't get
Slam
the
the
2.
under.
Life is too short to bet the under. He had 1, and he says he always has 1. He didn't have any today, though.
I've never had a corn dog here, but the hot dogs are great. We've had them like 4 nights in a row.
First pitch popped up and out of play. Tanner Goodman for strike 1. Here in the top of the 7th inning, still a scoreless ball game. Here at Eldridge Park, Hunter Goodman, the DH again out of Memphis. Smith back on the rubber for Kelly Nicholson's squad. Kelly Nicholson working on, if he can win tonight, can collect his 350th regular season win. 0-1 pitch just misses up and away. Got a ball and a strike. Smith for the windup, the 1-1. Curveball, just a half-hearted swing. As Goodman swings right through it. He tried to hold up, but unable to do so. So Smith so far has been outstanding. Worked his way around a leadoff single from Hackenberg. As the 1-2 pitch skips in. Avidia shuffling towards the third base side to make the block. Count 2-2. Smith so far with one punch out. Struck out Rigsby Mosley back in the 6th. Trying to collect 2 here against Hunter Goodman. 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. Count runs 4-3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes is the count. The pitch off the edge of the barrel as it will scamper up the first base side. Kick save and a butte by M. Seminaris down. They're using the spike to stop the ball from advancing. Smith's freshman year pitched 23 2/3 innings with a .14 ERA. Was outstanding. 3-2 pitch once more. Off speed in the dirt. Hunter Goodman check swing, but it'll lay off and works the leadoff walk here in the 7th.
Thomas, it'll be interesting to see the Birds bullpen plan tonight. We keep talking about how the Birds now have a rested pen after the 6 from Mosqueda. Then really some strong performances last night. I know they planned to get Nick Garcia into the ballgame. They didn't even have to use him last night. So you have Smith's debut. You have the new right-hander from BYU. You got Nick Garcia and Jeff Trammell all available.
Showing one is Jackson Olsen, throw down towards first base. And just getting back in safely at first is Hunter Goodman. Olsen trying to bunt Goodman over. Avidia again, the throw beat him in time. But getting in towards the backside of the bases, he beats the tag from Ray Gill at first. So count 0-1 here on Jackson. Olsen will swing away this time as the 0-1 is fouled off the dish. Count 0-2. So the Harbor Hawks trying to play some small ball here. Now at 2 strikes on him, McCabe will back up behind the bag at third. No balls and 2 strikes on Jackson Olsen. Smith looks over at first at Goodman, kicks and fires. 0-2 pitch off the edge of the barrel. Fouled off to the screen. Count 0-2. Double play bet depth up the middle with Tanner Murray and Shea Whitcomb. 0-2 pitch. In on the hands, popped up, but will find the seats on the third base side. Bounces off Route 28. A hard bounce off the blacktop and out of play.
Saw it.
This count is no balls in 2 strikes on Jackson Olsen. 0-2. Curveball in the dirt, cut on a miss for strike 3. Angelo Smith showcasing the curve and gets Olsen swinging for the first out here in the 7th. A lot of movement on that curveball from Smith. So 1 down here in the 7th inning, still scoreless ball game. Hunter Goodman over at first base after he worked a leadoff walk. Ian Fair stepping in. Takes a first pitch fastball inside for ball 1. Fair was a substitute for DeSantelo over at first about an inning or 2 ago. Fair out of Northeastern. Local kid from Walpole, Massachusetts. 1 out. Fastball racing upstairs. Count heads to 2-0. Fair so far, 9 for 17 so far on Cape Cod. Now his 6 game hits in his first 4. 2-0 from Smith. Off-speed pitch. Fair swings right through, tries to hold up. Count 2 balls and a strike. So Smith really having the off-speed working so far. Getting a lot of swing and misses out of the zone on that pitch. Smith comes set from the stretch. Glove around the face, the 2-1. Off-speed once again at the ankles. Cut on a miss for strike 2. Angelo Smith really locating that off-speed well out of the zone. So now count as 2 balls in, 2 strikes with Goodman over at first. 1 down here at the top of the 7th inning. 2-2. Off-speed pitch is hammered out towards left field. The left fielder Kokoska going back. Has some room and makes the catch out there in left for out number 2.
And off the bat, Thomas, that kind of looked a little scary at first for the Birds. Maybe this might break this scoreless tie, but it just hit off the end of the barrel and right to Zach Kokoska, who's played a very solid left field tonight. Has played some center and right for the Birds so far this summer, but now we're seeing him in the opposite side of the field. He's done a great job.
Yeah, that ball off the bat looked it's going to travel a lot further as Chad Gaspin will go to the bench once again and bringing in Bryce Teodosio in for Mitch McIntyre here in the 7th spot. Because McIntyre left-hander now, Teodosio a right-hander. First pitch curveball, swung on a miss for strike 1. Again, 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. Teodosio out of Clemson, native of Simpsonville, South Carolina. 0-1 from Smith. Curveball once again cut on a miss. Again, the curveball starts at the knees, and then the big swing from the left-hander finishes in around the ankles area here to the right-hander Teodosio. And it's hard to lay off. Count is no balls in, 2 strikes on Teodosio. Goodman over at first base. 0-2 pitch. Goodman running on the pitch. Broken bat up the middle. Field around by Whitcomb, who comes around the second base back. Throw on a first to Ray Gill. And Teodosio is retired for out number 3. So for the 2nd inning in a row, Angelo Smith works his way around. A leadoff base runner reaching after 6.5. It's still a scoreless ball game here from Eldridge Park. And Scotty Gange, we're going to have to try to find you out here in this Eldridge night. Where are you?
Dude, I think this is actually going to be a really, really hard one because I'm still trying to really find where I'm supposed to. Okay, yes, I did find it. This is going to be a hard one. There's lots of netting in front of me. There's a very important number, probably the most important number that's going to happen this season, regardless of everything and anything. That's my only hint.
Wow, that is tough. Let's think about now. Zebulon Vermillion, great with riddles, and I think we could use his help. And he might be a little far away for his help, but Thomas, any guesses?
So you said a lot of netting in front of you.
Yes. Wait, why did I tell you there's netting in front of me? That kind of gave it away.
So unfortunately, our camera right now is unoperable at the moment. Our fantastic producer Bryce taking on a lot of work, and our good friend Nicholas picking up the slack, but it's currently on the wide shot, so this is just going to be an auditory guess.
I want to say you're down the left field corner or you're in left center.
So I think he's near the cage and the screen that he did before.
I think so, too, because I believe John Castleberry's number is retired down there. I don't know if that's a number or not, but, I mean, it's a guess.
Scotty, how about this? We'll trade an answer for an answer. I've got some great news for the Birds media team. I think we're about to go on a cruise to Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard. My parents just won the raffle. They're going to be gone. We can go, they said. Where are you? That's my good news.
What?
This is quite the ball game, my friend.
I'm out here in left center. That's my answer. But because of that, we'll go our next home game, and I'll give you the reasoning.
Wow, we gotta wait till what, Saturday?
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna sleep for 2 nights.
Win my first.
I don't like when Scotty wins this game.
Yeah, I don't like losing very often, I can tell you. Very competitive guy. 2-0 to Vidia. Fastball misses inside. Count runs to 3-0. Feddersen back on the hill for the Harbor Hawks. He's pitched 2 scoreless innings so far, just 25 pitches needed. Here in his 3rd inning. 3 out. Fastball spiked to dirt, gets the backstop of Vidia. Hustling down the first base line, tosses the bat towards the first base dugout. And now the Firebirds have a leadoff man on here with nobody down. As we didn't think coming into this game that maybe another pitcher's duel. Still a scoreless ball game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So now the 9-0 hitter, Shea Whitcomb, the second baseman, will start things off here from the right side with still nobody down. A video over at first base as Fredersen works from the stretch for the first time today. Throw over towards first base as diving back in safely head first is Avidia. Third baseman Olsen in on the grass. Expecting a bunt here from Shea Whitcomb. Big hole on the right side of the infield with Servadio playing double play depth up the middle. First pitch of Whitcomb showing bunt, pops it up in the air down the first base sideline, but it will touch the grass as Fair was charging in, but was well out in front of him. So when darkness falls here at Eldridge Park, the mosquitoes come out as well. Has been a problem so far throughout Eldridge Park this season. So if you ever come to Eldridge Park, bring some good bug spray and maybe a blanket. 0-1 showing bunt once again. This one's at the knees as Whitcomb pulls the barrel. Back count 0-2 on the second baseman.
Thomas, that's some great advice from a seasoned vet here to Miss Eldridge. And now what I will say, and I'm getting attacked by bugs as we talk, not to get too personal here. I was getting ready this morning and I noticed a whole slew of bug bites on my legs. I hope that wasn't too much.
You can find them. Got them on my legs as well as, once again, throw over to first base from Fredrickson. Nvidia back in headlong. Definitely probably one of the biggest purchases here you can get if you're going to come to a Gateway game. I'm running low on bug spray, so I'm going to go to the store, get some more of that.
Now what I will say, too, also stop at the retail shop and see Lisa Radke.
0-2 pitch. Whitcomb still bunting. Bunts it up the first base. Not perfect bunt there. Hackenberg comes out. Bare hands it throw over to first base. And Whitcomb is retired as a sacrifice bunt is effective and moves Avidia over towards second.
So great sacrifice bunt from Avidia. And now the Firebirds trying to mount, well, rather, a great sacrifice bunt by Shea Whitcomb advancing David Avidia. And this is the chance for the Birds to really try and take this ball game. They have the top of their lineup. With only one away in the seventh, the way that the Firebirds bullpen has been this summer, this is the chance to try and steal this game.
Again, still scoreless ball game here in the bottom of the seventh inning. One down with Avidia over at second. Top of the order rolls back around Jacob Hurtubise. Would be surprised if he tries to bunt here. The third baseman Olsen back. Time is finally called by Hurtubise as Fredrickson kept glancing back at second at Avidia. So both the corner infielders in Fair and Olsen are back behind the dish. Or behind the bag, excuse me, as Hackenberg will jog out towards the pitcher's mound. Maybe trying to buy some time out there. Looks like a left-hander warming in the left center field bullpen for the Harbor Hawks. Again, Firebirds trying to win their third straight ball game in a row. Having defeated Harwich and Brewster the last two nights here at Eldridge. So Hurtubise is awaiting his first pitch in this AB. Hurtubise will hit away. First pitch curveball. Bends in at the knees for strike one. So Fredrickson so far has been really locating that off-speed pitch. Well, again, a guy that can mix it up with a slider, curveball, changeup, and fastball option as well. Fredrickson kicks and deals. The 0-1 pitch curveball bounced towards the left side of the infield. The shortstop, Westbrook, fields it off. A hop throw on the first is in time as Fair picks it out of the dirt for the second out. So now with DeSantil out of the ballgame, again, he has both errors for the Harbor Hawks. So not a natural first baseman. Ian Fair, more of a natural first baseman. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the seventh inning. As Zach Britton, the right fielder from Louisville, will try to score when the first Birds run. Off-speed pitch in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Hackenberg, as he goes down to the knees. Count 1-0. Britton has been punched out twice this evening, but reached an error back in the first. Was then thrown out at second base, trying to advance to second on that same play. Fredrickson kicks and fires the 1-0. Fastball's fouled off right off the padding behind home plate. Makes a loud thud.
Thomas, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is 2 innings from now. If this game is still tied at 0 or the Birds are tied in the ball game heading into the home half of the ninth, imagine if Orleans walked it off tonight to secure their 14th victory this summer, which matches last year's total, which they walked off for their 14th win, and gets Kelly Nicholson 350 career regular season wins.
1-1 curveball at the knees for strike 2 on Zach Britton. Now that would be something else.
Talk about storybook.
That is something, again, that you put in a book.
That would be incredible. Now we're jumping the gun a little bit. Still 2 innings to play, and if Zach Britton hits a single here that scores Avidia, that changes everything.
1-2 pitch to Britton. Curveball cut on a miss for strike 3. And Britton goes down swinging here to end things here in the 7th. So Patrick Fredrickson, 3 scoreless innings, works around the leadoff walk. Firebirds no runs on no hits, no errors, but 1 man left on base. After 7, it's still a scoreless ball game here from Eldridge Park. So we'll step aside, listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Here's the 1-2 pitch again. It's a breaker that Samuelson just looked like he was swinging a tennis racket at and couldn't make contact. It's the second strikeout of the inning for Wilcox. And they're
going to go back in there for Andrew Abbott. 1-2 fast.
The 1-0 pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1. And you
Back inside the broadcast booth from Eldridge Park. Still a scoreless ball game here at the top of the 8th inning. First pitch from Angelo Smith misses low and outside for ball 1. Smith so far has worked a picture perfect 2 innings of just 1 hit baseball. Walked 1 and struck out 2 so far. 1-0 pitch misses as well. Count heads to 2 balls and no strikes. On Anthony Servideo, the second baseman from Ole Miss. Smith from the windup, the 2-0. Fastball comes up and in. Count runs to 3 balls and no strikes. So far for the Harborhawks, just 3 hits in this ball game. 3-0 from Smith. Fastball right down Main Street at the belt for strike 1. Smith working from the first base side of the rubber. 3-1 kicks and fires. 2-seam fastball on the hands and just able to get a piece of it as Servideo fouls it back over Route 28 on the third base side. So after falling behind 3-0 in the count, man has worked it back to full. The payoff pitch from Smith. Fastball chopper over towards the first baseman Gill. 2-hop fielded by himself, steps on the bag for the first out. So 3 unassisted by Servideo, and that will do it for Angelo Smith. Kellen Nixon just wanted to use the lefty-lefty matchup. And Angelo Smith, 2 1/3 innings through 30 pitches. And a perfect debut for one of the Wolverines as we'll go to the bullpen here at Eldridge here in the top of the 8th inning. We'll step aside, listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. back inside Miss Eldridge here in Orleans, Massachusetts. It's still a scoreless ball game between the Highness Harborhawks and the Orleans Firebirds. One down here on the top of the 8th inning as Jeff Primmel out of Southern New Hampshire is coming for the Firebirds. First pitch curveball misses upstairs to Adam Hackenberg, the catcher out of Clemson. Primmel making his 10th appearance here on Cape Cod. Has pitched 9 innings, struck out 6 with 4 saves as well. 1-0 pitch, off-speed pitch, a wave and a miss for strike 1. Good-looking breaking ball there from Primmel. Started on the inside corner, finished almost out of the zone on the outer half of the plate. So ball on the strike here on the catcher from Clemson. A little bit open stance from the right side, the 1-1. Curveball once again. Wave and a miss for strike 2. Hackenberg out in front of it. 1-2 the count. So Primmel, last appearance back on July 8th against Chatham, went 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, 3 runs, all unearned. 1-2 pitch, fastball pumped upstairs, swung on a miss for strike 3. Jeff Primmel climbing the ladder on Adam Hackenberg. He goes down swinging for the second time this evening. And now there are quickly 2 outs here at the top of the 8th inning.
So I was talking to Jeff Primmel yesterday and today, and I said to him, I go, Jeff, I don't know if you want to know this, but I'm going to tell you. And he goes, okay. And I tell him, Jeff, you're tied for first in the Cape in saves with 4. And again, a Southern New Hampshire kid really proving his worth in the CCBL.
First pitch to Westberg, fastball inside corner for strike 1.
And you know what he responds? I don't like that. I want to be in first. So he checked in with me again today. He said, did anyone take the lead? I go, no, someone tied you, but a potential for a save opportunity. Well, not really, unless it would be a win.
0-1 wave and miss for strike 2, count 0-2. It would be a win for Primmel tonight, unfortunately. And we could see him go 2 innings, went 2 innings his last time out. And which this is just the 3rd pitcher in this ball game for Orleans. We really use not a lot of pitchers tonight. 0-2 pitch to Westberg. Fastball up in the zone, fouled back to the Denny behind the dish. Count remains 0-2.
Sorry, Thomas. I love that competitive mentality from Jeff Primmel. He doesn't want to just be tied atop the league. He wants to be the best closer in the league.
For sure. You don't settle for nothing out there. It's a jungle. 0-2 from Primmel. Fastball is corked out towards straightaway center. Ortiz has some room, moves to his left. Camp Stoner make the catch for the 3rd out. So after 7.5 innings, it's still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. And now, Scotty, we're going to send it over to you.
Hey, Thomas, thanks, buddy. We're out here with 2 of the coolest, most athletic Firebirds fans. I'm out in right field. I know we've got the wide shot because we're just hanging out. It's a good night. Everybody's doing their thing. Dewa and Parker, I'll just ask you guys simply, are you having fun?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, Parker, you are a host family with lots of players. How cool is that for you?
It's really fun having players in the house.
Dewa, you are a 4-sport athlete, right?
Yes.
All right, how much fun do you have playing sports?
Lots of fun.
It's lots of fun for me to chat with you guys. You're on the TV broadcast, which is kind of fun. I know for me, I hope that it's fun for you guys. But while you're here, I'll kind of tell you all and to those that are at home right now, we do have a really fun, exciting deal with Kelly Nicholson and a few players. On Tuesday, we're going to be at Land Ho, and Kelly Nicholson is going to be eating lunch with a few players, lunches with the Birds, and we're going to do it. They're going to talk about what's their best ways of playing baseball, training, their path and career in baseball. It's going to be really cool. So I know you guys would probably be interested in that. And everybody that's watching our live stream now that's either in the town of Orleans or is going to be Tuesday at noon at Land Ho. It's just fun for me. I would think it would be cool for you guys. If you could ask, Dewa, I'll put you on the spot here. If you could ask a player one question, what would it be?
How many home?
I'll make sure to ask him that. Sound good?
Okay.
All right, thanks, Parker and Dewa. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. We'll send it back to you guys because we are really enjoying our time watching the game.
Thank you, Scotty. We got a running list now of people going to be there on Tuesday. We already got James the Rinter out in right field. Now we can tack on a couple more names onto the list over at the Land Ho on Tuesday for lunch with Kelly. So now starting things off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Max Trine, the DH out of Bentley. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for the Firebirds. First pitch, curveball, almost comes in and hits Trine as he backs out of the way. Count 1-0. Again, still a scoreless ball game here at Eldridge Park. 8 hits combined, 5 for the Firebirds, 3 for the Harborhawks. 1-0 pitch, foul tipped off the mitt of Hackenberg, the catcher. Count a ball and a strike. So Patrick Fredrickson Fantastic day here in relief for the HarborHawks. As pitched the scoreless 3 innings. 1-1 to Trani. Curveball check swing. Able to lay off, says the first base umpire, Vincent Alexander Medina. Count 2 balls and a strike, and well, Max Trani has collected 2 of the 5 hits for the Firebirds tonight. 2-1 to pitch, a rolled over chopper, slow up the third base side. As just letting it bounce foul as the third baseman Olsen. He came charging in initially, but then saw where the direction and the path of the ball was going, and just lets it go down. So count evens back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fredersen so far, 24 strikes, 14 balls, 38 pitches through 3+ innings. Hasn't allowed a hit yet, just 1 base runner via the walk and David Avidia last half inning. 2-2 pitch, curveball spoiled off the first base side over the hill. Count stays 2-2. So again, we've seen since yesterday's ball game with 2 strikes on these Firebirds hitters, a lot have been choking up on the bat, and it's worked out so far. Trani especially. 2-2. Fastball just up and out of the zone off the plate. As check swing by Trani able to hold up. So the sun pretty much set here from Eldridge Park. As the lights take full effect here on the diamond. Payoff pitch of Trani. Fastball chopped right off the mitt of Fredrickson, back up the middle. Second baseman jump through over the head of Fair at first base. Trani digging towards second. Throw over to second base, and he is out.
So that should be scored a single and Trani's 3rd hit of the night. But he stumbled around the first base bag after the overthrow. And I was a little, in my mind, I was kind of questioning, why are you running? Take the single. You slip down. It didn't get caught under the fence. You'll be awarded the second base bag if it runs out of play. And that might come back to haunt Orleans.
The second time tonight that a Firebirds runner has been going down at second base, trying to extend it. First pitch to Ray Gill, slices one high in the air down the right field line, looking up, and it's a foul ball as Mosley was backing up towards the Lan Ho sign at the 3:14 mark, but just tailing foul.
Now, hindsight's 20/20. We know that, Thomas, for sure, and I'm not calling out Max Trani. I think he is a fantastic baseball player and an even better person. It's just in the moment, you're trying to do so much for your team, you slip, and it comes back to actually go the wrong direction.
Oh, what Osby to Ray Gill catches the outside corner. Count 0-2 on Gill. We've seen the pitchers before when they try to overthrow or something like that, when they're trying to do too much in a situation. 0-2 pitch to Gill. This one's a high fly ball out towards straightaway center field. D'Alessio moves over to his left towards the right center now. Can't center it and makes the grab. So now quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Still a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. We have not seen a run tonight. A game that's just around 2 hours right now. And Zach Kokoska, left fielder from Kansas State, digs in from the left side against the right-hander Patrick Fredrickson out of Minnesota. Again, Fredrickson. First pitch to Kokoska, fouled off towards the on-deck circle on the Firebirds side. Count 0-1. So the Trani single is the first base hit that Fredrickson has allowed now through 3 2/3. Only 2 base runners have reached here off of Fredrickson. 0-1 to Kokoska. Changed up there, wave and miss. First strike, 2. Count 0-2. 4 punch outs so far for the right-hander from Minnesota, working on number 5 here. Again, 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nobody aboard for the Firebirds. 0-2 to Kokoska. Off speed, misses low and in for ball 1. Kokoska so far, quiet night for the Wildcat from Kansas State. 0 for 3 so far. Can really do some damage here late in this ball game. 1-2 from the windup. Fastball upstairs, cut on a miss for strike 3. And Kokoska goes down swinging here to end things here in the 8th inning. Firebirds, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. 3 innings at Eldridge Park. It is still a scoreless ball game. We'll step aside to listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top half, the ninth inning from Eldridge Park as the Harperhawks and the Firebirds are in a pitcher's duel right now. As Jeff Primmel's back on the bump for the Firebirds. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for the Harperhawks. Rigsby Mosley, the right fielder, will try to jumpstart this Harperhawks offense. Just 3 hits so far. First pitch to Mosley. Fastball foul tipped as Avidia unable to squeeze it. Count 0-1. Mosley so far, pair of flyouts and a strikeout. His last time up back in the 6th. Mosley, who's batting .250 so far in the game, does have a home run added to his name. That came back in the 3rd game of the season against Wareham. 0-1. Fastball is cranked out towards straightaway center field. Hurtubise tracks it down the lights in center. Moves in now a couple of steps and makes the catch on the run for out number 1. So Hurtubise patrolling a clean outfield out there, as Kokoska and Britton has as well. Especially here in the night sky, a ball that's hit as high as that can be difficult to find sometimes. So one down here on the top of the 9th. Trevor Halver, the Sun Devil from Arizona State. First pitch. Off speed, just misses low for ball 1. So Hurtubise shooting out towards left center, and then the right fielder Britton playing normal depth, so a big gap out there in right center. 1-0 misses low and in, count 2-0. Infield back all around for the Firebirds here, as the wind continues to blow out towards right center field just a hair. 2-0 from Pramel. Fastball paints the outside corner for strike 1. Count 2-1 on Halver. Again, the Firebirds once again trying to win 3 in a row, pick up their 14th win, which would match last year's season's total. 2-1 from Pramel. Fastball basically same spot once again at the belt. Count 2-2. It would also mark the 350th regular season win for Kelly Nicholson, the skipper on the first base dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Pramel comes set from the belt. Kicks and fires. 2-2 is spoiled off down the third base side. Over Route 28, count remains 2-2. Again for the Harperhawks, just 3 hits with the 2 errors. Orleans, no runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. 2-2 once more. Big bender curveball doesn't bend just enough. Comes up and in on Halver. Count runs full at 3-2. And this is what Trevor Halver does. Really works some long counts. Again, we mentioned worked 4 walks the last time these two teams played. 3-2 curveball just missing a little bit too high. And Halver works his first walk in this ball game, and it's a big one with 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Looks like there is a right-hander warming in the Orleans bullpen. Hunter Goodman, the DH, from the right side now. As Halver's aboard over at first base. First pitch curveball is popped up behind the dish. Count 0-1 on Goodman. Goodman so far has one of the 3 base hits. Collected the second one for Hunter Goodman back in the 4th. He also walked back in the 7th. 0-1. Breaking ball comes up and in. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Again, the Harbor Hawks so far this year haven't had the greatest season, 5-19-1, trying to end their 3-game losing skid. 1-1. Fastball is hammered out towards left field. Looking up is Kokoska over the scoreboard in left field for a home run. Hunter Goodman, the league leader in RBIs, adds a couple more here. That's his 5th long ball of the season. Number of RBIs, 23 and 24, and it couldn't have come at a bigger time for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, that ties Goodman to the league in home runs. It puts him and extends his lead in RBIs, and you knew he could get out in a hurry. And Thomas, what's the key we always talk about when it comes to pitching? First pitch strikes. He issues a walk to Halver. Then Pramel has to pitch out of the stretch, and he's got the cleanup man up there who loves to drive in runs, and that's one way to drive in a pair of runs, betting your fifth home run of the summer.
Jackson Olsen in first pitch, fastball above the letters for ball 1. Hunter Goodman just flat out crushed that ball. 1-0 fastball just missing outside. Count 2-0. So the Harbor Hawks trying to hold now this 2-0 lead over the Firebirds. Trying to tack on a few more here. 2-0 pitch, fastball low in the zone, reach for. And just squeezed out a play behind the dish, count 2-1. So the walk issue to Halver comes back and hurts the Firebirds. That is now heading to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Firebirds win at least 2 if the Harbor Hawks can maybe tack on another, maybe a couple more. 2-1 to Olsen. Off-speed pitch misses outside. Count 3-1. Olsen so far, quiet night as well, 0 for 3. Again, that was just the 4th hit in the long ball for Hunter Goodman. Pramel comes set, kicks and fires the 3-1. Fastball is rolled over, chopper up the first base side. As Scala will come out as he enters this ball game for Ray Gill. So the count is now 3 balls in, 2 strikes. Curveball inside corner, strike 3. And Olsen goes down looking for the second time this evening. And there are 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. So Ian Fair, the first baseman from Northeastern, who came to the ball game for Jared DeSantolo. Now digs in from the right side, sporting the Highness orange and blue batting gloves. First pitch swinging, fastball right up the middle, sends it right up the chute into center field for a base hit. Ian Fair continues to rank here in Cape Cod, his average over 400. Picks up a 2-out single here in the 9th. So now Kellen Nicholson will come out as he'll call to the bullpen. He's seen enough. So with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning, the Firebirds will go to the bullpen as Jeff Pramel goes an inning and a third, 1 hit. Surrounded the 2-run blast to Goodman. 1 walk and 2 punch outs. He was good early on, but the walk came back to hurt him just a little bit with the 2-run Goodman blast. So we'll step aside. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top of the 9th inning from Eldridge Park. It's now 2-0 Harbor Hawks lead over the Orleans Firebirds. It was a 2-run blast by Hunter Goodman that has given them the lead in this half of the inning as Nick Garcia comes into the ball game to secure just one out. Runner on first base again with 2 down. Garcia making it now his 10th appearance, just like Jeff Pramo was. Both of them now reaching the double-digit mark in the appearance department. Pitched 9 innings, 9 strikeouts. ERA exactly at 5 as Bryce Teodosio, center fielder from the right side. First pitch fastball pumped up in the zone for strike 1. Teodosio couldn't not quite catch up. That was no balls and 1 strike on Teodosio. Garcia comes set from the chest, the 0-1. Fastball foul tipped into the mitt of Avidia. Count no balls and 2 strikes. So Garcia just trying to come into this ball game and retire Teodosio on 3 pitches. Ian Fair over at first base after a 2-out single from him. Takes a couple steps off. Esquera again checked in for Ray Gill over at first. 0-2 from Garcia. Fastball just getting a piece of it. Was Teodosio fouls it back to the screen. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Again, Harper Hawks 2, Firebirds nothing here on the top of the 9th. 2 outs, runner on first. Count holds at no balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Off-speed pitch upstairs. Cut on miss for strike 3. And Teodosio goes down swinging to end things here in the 9th inning. But not before the Harbor Hawks strike for 2. Both off the barrel of Hunter Goodman on a 2-run home run. 2 runs for the Harbor Hawks on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left aboard. Home half of the 9th inning upcoming. Firebirds bats will try to put up 2 to tie, 3 to win. We'll be right back with some Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Gill trying to walk it off with the wind.
Bybee working rather quickly. The 2-2 pitch. The first base. Breaking ball hit hard and deep to left. And Tico chases it. It's gone. Ray Gill walks it off for Orleans.
The University of Miami first base.
Firebirds 1, Gateman nothing.
Final out of the first
didn't take much. 1 run on just 4 hits
in the
for
first
Firebirds.
7 innings. And Gill crosses home plate. He is miles by all the water in the Sunshine Ballpark as the Birds win it 1-0 in game.
Latter half of the 9th inning. The last 3 outs for the Firebirds as they trail the Harbor Hawks 2-0 here from Eldridge Park. Trevor Delat on the mound for the Harbor Hawks, making his 2nd appearance here on Cape Cod. He started 1 game. In 2 innings, gave up 7 runs and 10 hits. So he's called upon here by Chad Gassman to close out this game as he has a word with the catcher Adam Hackenberg out on the hill as Hackenberg will return back behind the dish. 6, 7, 8, 2 up for the Firebirds. Murray followed by McCabe, and then David Avidia in the hole. So Murray will start things off for the Firebirds. The right-hander facing the left-hander delayed. First pitch, fastball misses low and inside for ball 1. And some of the Firebirds faithful trying to urge on the Birds here at home. 1-0 to Murray. Fastball at the belt, cut on a miss for strike 1. Got a ball and a strike on Tanner Murray. Firebirds at home this year, 8-5, just 5-5-2 on the road. So that Firebird faithful advantage taken maybe effect here in the bottom of the ninth as they trail 2. 1-1 from the late. Fastball's fouled off the end of the barrel. Out of play over the hill. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, 2 to Murray. Curveball just getting a piece of it as he taps it off the shin guard of Adam Hackenberg. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Infield back here for the Harborhawks. Center fielder Tito shooting a little bit over the 434 sign towards the left center. So he's on the left side of the second base bag. Ball and 2 strikes to count. Delight comes set from the belt. The 1-2. Fastball runs upstairs and out of the zone. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes on Tanner Murray, the shortstop from UC Davis. Murray 0 for 3 tonight. Looking for a big base knock here to start things going for the Firebirds. 2-2 to Murray. Fastball rolled over Chopper down the third base side. Count stays 2-2. Some of the Firebird players on the bench. Zach Daniels, Angela Smith having a good time down there, clapping their hands with the crowd as well. As it gets a little bit louder here at Eldridge. 2-2 to Murray. Fastball once again is barreled up and fouled out of play over the hill on the first base side. The count stays 2-2. 7 pitches thrown so far in this AB. Pitch number 8 is upcoming from the late. Again, Firebirds trail 2-0. 2-2 once more. Fastball popped up in the air. Giving a look this time is Ian Fair, the first baseman, but it'll reach the peak of the hill on the first base side once again. So Murray putting up a battle here at the dish. Going to start things off here at the bottom of the ninth inning. Hunter Goodman's 2-run blast in the top half of this inning, the difference so far. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count. 8th pitch upcoming. Chopper rolled over toward the left side of the infield towards Westbrook, the shortstop. Charging on the run and guns down Tanner Murray. A fluid motion by the shortstop Westberg, who's able to nab Murray down at first base.
Great battle there from Murray. Sharp play by Westberg, but remember, Chad Gassman earlier in this ball game made a change at first base. He took out Jared DeSantelo, who made 2 errors, not a natural first baseman, and Ian Fair scoops that ball out in the dirt and potentially saves this game.
So Ian Fair also brought a single last half inning. Didn't do anything, but still, Ian Fair so far so good. First pitch fastball at the knees to Eddie McCabe for strike 1. As the Firebirds are down to their final 2 outs here. Again, they trail 2-0 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Firebirds have out-hit the Harborhawks 6-5 tonight, but again, it was a 2-run home run. 0-1. Off-speed just missing the knees, kind of ball and a strike. Delay comes set from the chest. The 1-1 to McCabe. Curveball, rope towards the shortstop. Westberg fields it, steps his feet, throw across the diamond to Fair at first. And the stretch is in time to retire McCabe. So back-to-back ground outs to the shortstop Westberg is how this 9th inning has started. And the Firebirds are down to their final out as Rob Emery will come to the dish to pinch hit for David Avidia. So Rob Emery, again, the Firebirds just need a base runner around here. Shea Wickham awaits on deck, and if you can get to the top of the order, come back around, the Firebirds can make something happen here. Emery from the right side of face to left-hander Delate. Delate kicks and fires. First pitch curveball, check swing, it's in there anyway, even though Hackenberg couldn't squeeze it. 0-1 to Emery. Check swing pitch misses down the zone. Does not go around, says Vincent Alexander Medina, the first base umpire. Got a ball and a strike here on Rob Emery. Again, pinch hitting for David Aviti here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 2-0 Harbor Hawks lead, 2 down in the 9th. 1-1 Emery. Goes around, says home plate umpire Joe Caraco. Had a pitch in the dirt. So now the Firebirds are down on their final strike here at Eldridge. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody aboard here with 2 outs. Firebirds trail 2-0 here in the 9th. DeLate looks for the sign on Hackenberg. Hackenberg glances over towards the third base dugout. DeLate comes set from the chest. The 1-2 pitch. Off speed, able to lay off. Was Rob Emery. Thought about it, but it keeps the barrel up in the zone. So count 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Rob Emery. Back-to-back bounce outs towards shortstop Westberg as Alice inning has started. 2-2 fastball. Just missing the knees. DeLate really wanting that one. He takes a little extra time walking around the rubber. Takes a deep breath on the mound. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes now. 2 down here at Eldridge. On the bottom of the 9th inning, 2-0 Harbor Hawks lead. The payoff pitch. Fastball foul tipped into the mid of Hackenberg for strike 3. And the Hyannis Harbor Hawks take one late here at Eldridge Park. It was a pitcher's duel for pretty much most of this ball game. Again, Harbor Hawks 2, Firebirds nothing. It was a 2-run blast by Hunter Goodman in the top of the 9th inning that provided all the offense in this ball game, even though the Firebirds once again out-hit the Harbor Hawks 6-5.
Yeah, and that's a tough way for Orleans. They pitched a great ball game, like you mentioned. 5 solid innings from Owen Schartz. Just surrendered 2 hits, struck out 3. Angelo Smith in his Orleans debut, spectacular. 2 1/3, 1 hit, struck out 2. Jeff Crammell, who is normally nails on the mound, struggled for the first time this summer, giving up a 2-run blast. So one of the best hitters on the Cape. And just the Orleans offense, again, it hasn't been necessarily the best on the Cape, but one of the things that I've been extremely impressed with for the Firebirds the last 2 nights at the Dish, they've cut down the strikeout numbers. Now a little more than last night. They went down 8 times, but I think that was part of the reason why the Birds were in this game all night, and it was almost inevitable for Hyannis. They were going to have a good pitching night at some point. They went the first 25 games without a shutout. They finally get one. So you tip your cap to Hyannis. They played a good game of baseball after a couple early errors, and you'll get a chance to get some revenge tomorrow night at McKeon Park.
Man, definitely some revenge tomorrow night at McKeon Park again. It's a home-and-home series, so they'll wrap things up here. Last meeting on the regular season. Again, they only play 4 times. East and West Division opponents is tomorrow night at McKeon Park. As stay tuned for a bird's eye view post-game show. Scotty Gage is hunting down Owen Schartz out there as he tries to track him down on the first base side. So take a look around the Cape at some of the scores really quickly. Again, out in YD, a 5-3 final score victory for the Red Sox. Katuitt defeats the Mariners 2-0 at White House Field. A game that took 2 hours and 10 minutes. As it looks like our Sally reporter Scotty Gage may be set down there. So we're just going to send it over to our bird baller of the game and our Sally reporter Scotty Gage. Scotty?
Thomas, thank you. Here with Owen Schartz, the Birds baller of the game. 5 innings pitched, scoreless. What was working out there for you tonight?
Just really dialed in my fastball and changeup command today, and trusted my catcher David, and I had a really good defense behind me. So it's easy to pitch when you have 9 guys behind you.
I know you've reached your innings limit for the summer, and the fact that it was your final outing for this team, that it went so well, and you enjoyed time with the guys. How important was that for you?
It was good. It was good to bounce back from last week, and really good flush. And I know these guys have my back 100%, and it's just good to finish on a good note and go out with a bang for these guys and give everything I had.
You mentioned bouncing back last week. I know it was probably a long week, waiting for this next start. What went into that? Did you change your mindset going into everything?
Obviously, there's a bit of putting in the past, and then part of it is, I have to look at it and look in the mirror and reevaluate and prepare differently and prepare better. And I think that's what we did with Coach Troop and my catcher David. We did a good job.
It was fun to watch. I know I want to focus on tonight because you really were fantastic out there. Again, 5 innings pitched, scoreless. You kept the Birds in the game for your entirety out there. To be with these guys this summer, I know you had some great memories. It must feel like the cherry on top of everything.
Yeah, it was awesome. Orleans is such a special place, and everybody that told me that is right. Everything. It's an amazing place, and I'll never forget this opportunity.
Well, congratulations to you on the fantastic ending
Scotty.
and the fantastic
Thank
summer.
you.
Owen Schartz, the Birds baller of the game. Thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
And thank you, Scott. Again, that was Scotty Gange alongside Owen Schartz, our Bird baller of the game. And now we're joined alongside none other than Max Triani. Max, thanks for joining us here on the broadcast.
Thanks for having me.
Max, another multi-hit game for you. 3 for 4 tonight, collecting 3 of the 6 base hits for the Firebirds. What's been working for you out there at the dish?
Honestly, just my two-strike approach has been great. I think reflecting on the past, I've had a lot of Ks, and for me, I wanted to shorten up. One of the things our coaching staff did was, I don't know if you remember the Game 7 Rajai Davis home run that he hooked down the line. If you look, he's choking up about 2.5 inches on the bat, and the lesson was, you have a lot more barrel control, and you hit like a 102-mile-an-hour fastball out of the park. So for me, I know I was a little late. In the past couple of weeks on 0-2 fastballs up or disadvantage counts up, so I definitely think choking up helped today.
Yeah, that was something that I was actually going to ask you about because we noticed that picture down on the first base dugout, and so we kind of noticed when some of the Firebirds hitters really choke up about an inch or maybe a little bit more than that, or a little less than that on the barrel. Has that been something that most of the Firebirds hitters have been doing, or just maybe a couple hitters?
I think now that we know that it's more prevalent. I mean, hell, Barry Bonds choked up on his bat. Granted, he swung a longer bat, but choked up. But still, the fact that you have more barrel control, I think the guys now understand. Especially myself, I felt it tonight that I have more barrel control. Whether it was fouling off a 2-2 changeup, getting a 3-2, and then getting a base hit on the 3-2 fastball. For me, it was just about making contact with 2 strikes, and I think some of our guys lost sight of that, including myself, earlier in the season, which leads to a lot of Ks. So I think we're in a good position moving forward.
Yeah, we see guys like Hurtubise. He always puts up a good fight at the dish, and then Tanner Murray's last day being the 9th inning, lasting 8 or 9 pitches on a couple of tough baseballs out there. You're in the middle of a 17 straight game stretch. You don't end until Monday. Now, we know as a pitcher how taxed it can be on a bullpen and maybe an arm. But as a hitter, how does that, affect you? Obviously, you get a couple days off. But again, 17 straight games, you're not used to playing that, back at school. You're playing maybe a weekend series. How is it different, here are 17 straight games? What goes into your mind?
It's crazy. I never would have suspected that I'd be playing most of the games, but that's just how the cookie has crumbled, whether it's been in the outfield most of the time or at DH. I'm just thankful to be playing in most of the games. On the flip side, yeah, my body has been pretty beaten up over the past 2 weeks or so that it's been. But, I've been working with Alex Simone, our trainer in the gym, and he's keeping me fresh and my legs moving, so I don't, end up pulling any muscles or anything. So, although it's tough and my body feels fatigued, Alex gets me right in the afternoon, so I'm good to go by 7.
I did notice that on Instagram, Alex Simone putting out there on the Instagram. You're a guy that obviously loves to be in there in the gym, and you work hard as well. So I give you props for that. Thank you, Max, for joining us as always here on the Birds Eye View post-game show, and we're looking forward to seeing you throughout the rest of this season.
Appreciate you.
Again, that was Max Triani, the outfielder for the Orleans Firebirds, and we're going to send it back to our side reporter, Scotty Gange, who is alongside my partner and now your partner.
Yeah, he's both our partner. Thomas, before I send it over to our beautiful friend, Josh Schaefer, who's not only good-looking, right?
You said Josh Schaefer.
Oh, my God,
I
did.
Now
Josh White.
He did say Josh Schaefer.
I would love to be Josh Schaefer. I think that he is very, very talented, but I like myself.
He's watching.
Is he?
Maybe,
Well,
I don't know.
I think he's got a game to call in Chatham, but we don't need to talk about Chatham. Let's talk Orleans.
Okay, but first off, Thomas, you were pointing at us. Why did you keep pointing at us when you were talking to Max just a second ago?
I'm just moving my hands, and I'm facing him. I'm not, I guess, pointing towards
sure.
you.
He's making up an excuse right now. He's saying, I wasn't pointing at you, la-di-da-di-da. Come on. Do you believe him?
Well, I don't have an IFB right now, so I only heard your side of the story. I'll wait to hear his. I don't want to pick in between this fight. Yeah, not a good idea.
All right, let's talk about the baseball game today. It was a pitcher's duel till the very end. A home run in the top of the 9th inning that sealed the deal for Hyannis. Just one bad pitch really all game. Pitching-wise for Orleans, it really was fantastic despite that home run.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with the Firebirds pitching staff the last 3 games. Obviously, we saw Orleans dominate on the mound the first 17 games before that losing skid. They had a 3.11 ERA as a staff, which is pretty dang good, Scotty. Top 3 in the Cape at the time. Then they had a little flutters here and there, but then tonight, Owen Sharts comes back, bounces back after that rough start at Wareham. He made a bullpen appearance in between, but 5 strong innings for Sharts, only gave up a couple hits. Angelo Smith, I think, was the storyline tonight on the pitching side for the Birds. His Orleans debut did not look phased by the moment, no jitters, anything like that. 2 1/3 scoreless. And then Jeff Pramel, who's been nails all summer long, like you said, made one bad pitch. It happens. It's the game of baseball. It's not like he's not going to be the closer anymore or anything like that. He's still a very reliable arm for Kelly Nicholson. And you got to tip your cap to Hyannis. They have Hunter Goodman, who's been one of the best hitters on the Cape, tied for the league lead now in home runs with 5, leads the league in RBIs with 24, and he just hit the ball out of the yard.
Yeah, I mean, it hit every single part of the game tonight. The pitching was great. You know, the new additions for Orleans tonight on the mound was great. Pramel looked great with 1 bad pitch. Owen Sharts can't speak higher really enough for him. He was very fantastic. 5 innings pitched. He said afterwards that Orleans has been such a special town to him, and everything you hear about it is true. Do you agree with him?
Oh, absolutely. And I think what was the coolest part for Owen, I know his family came up for a week or so, and they got to enjoy the Cape with him. They traveled around. I think he got the full Orleans experience, if you will, and you obviously know how the town of Orleans is experiencing it for more than a month, if I can speak English tonight. I don't think it's going to happen. But, you know, it's a great experience for him. He did really well on the Cape, impressed scouts. Again, take that one outing out of it. He did really well. The fastball was sharp. The changeup, which I think is his best pitch, improved outing to outing. And that, I think, is really impressive. He came in with an above-average changeup and made it even sharper throughout the summer.
So the end of the 4-game home series here for Orleans, or the 4-game homestand, they split it 2-2, the loss on Monday, 2 straight wins Tuesday, Wednesday, and the 2-0 loss tonight. In these past 4 games, what have you learned from the Orleans Firebirds?
They're a resilient bunch. Obviously, you lose 6 games in a row. It's tough, and that can wane on you a little bit. But Kelly Nicholson's club didn't say, hey, you know what, let's roll over and die. Let's fight back and live and string together some wins. And we've seen that throughout the summer in microcosms, if you will. It happens in ball games, but now you saw it over a stretch. And I think the big thing on the hitting side for me that I take away from this home series is the number of strikeouts that Orleans was able to cut down in the last 2 games. Kelly Nicholson, and we talked about it on the broadcast the other day, put a photo in the dugout before yesterday's ball game of, I think it was Francisco Lindor, Carlos Santana on the Cleveland Indians, of a guy choking up on a bat.
Davis it was.
Oh, Rajai Davis. I'm sorry. That was on the home run in the World Series where they ended up losing to the Chicago Cubs. But nonetheless, he chokes up on the bat, shows you kind of just the approach. Hey, we lead the league in strikeouts on the offensive side. We need to cut down. So the Birds did that really well last night. I think struck out 3 or 4 times. Tonight it was a little higher at 8, but it wasn't the 10, 15 number that we've seen a couple times this summer. So that's the biggest takeaway for me. Offensively, pitching found its form again in these last 2 games. 1 bad pitch gets hit out of the yard by a very talented hitter, and the defense was sharp, shy of a play or 2.
It was an exciting 4-game homestand again. They split the 4 games 2-2. And the baseball's not done. We're pushing on 17 straight days with baseball. Got a game tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Looking forward to the Monday off. But 3 more baseball games this week. What do they got to do if they want to win those?
I think it's the same formula they've had all summer. The strength of this team is the starting pitching. And that's not a knock on any other aspect of this team. You have seen time and time again, Owen Sharts, Adam Simoneris, Jake Eater now, Austin Love joining that mix, and obviously plenty of guys that have come in and out. But that has been the core of this team that has tossed 4 or 5 dominant innings. Then it's up to the offense, and we talk about it all the time, timely hitting. You deliver that timely hit. You don't need to have the most power on the Cape. You don't need to have the best offense. You deliver the hit in that key spot, you're going to win a lot of ball games. And they say pitching wins championships. We've seen it from the Birds so far. I think if they continue to pitch, come up with those timely hits, don't boot the ball around too much, I think you could see a very successful Firebirds club the second half of this summer.
That's all coming in the second half of the summer. We are officially 26 games through, right? 26 games through here. The Firebirds, they're looking good. We've seen lots of greatness, a few shallow valleys, but we've seen lots of great attitudes and great work ethic like you talked about. The resilient bunch of the Firebirds. It's so much fun to watch, huh?
It is, and that's what I think makes the town of Orleans root for this club. It's not that they have a burden to root for the 9 guys that are on the field that night. They can see the determination from this club, the grit, and that's what makes a Kelly Nicholson squad. They're not a team that, again, we talked about it before, that's not just going to roll over and die and say, okay, we're down 8-1, or let's say, game's over. We saw against Chatham the other night during a losing skid where you could just say, okay, things have not gone our way the last week. Let's stop playing hard. They made an 8-7 ball game, put the tying run on third base. Now, they didn't come out on top, but there's positives, huge positives to take away from games like that. And you could see game 40 of this summer, 42, and maybe a quote-unquote must-win game that the Birds are in a similar situation and end up winning. And that's what kind of builds a championship club. Some of these early season games, middle of the summer, that you might not think, oh, they lost, it's a tough loss. That can really build championship clubs.
Looking forward to seeing that the rest of the way. Josh White, thanks for the time, man. We're going to get Lyle Goldstein on here, broadcaster for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. He's going to walk away. Josh is going to go get Lyle. I have made contact. Yes, Lyle, we got to hurry, buddy. We're live. He's running over here. Hey, that a baby. That a baby. Welcome into the Bird's Eye View postgame show, Lyle. It's nice to have you.
Thanks. Nice to be here, buddy. Thanks for having me on. Like you said, this is rapid fire right here.
I know. We're speeding through. Let's talk about the ball game. 2-0, a great win for Hyannis.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the pitching was probably the best it's been all season. Patrick Fredrickson, a guy who came off a 2018 campaign, so last year, where he was the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year, has had his up and down go of it on Cape Cod this summer, but man, he absolutely dazzled out of relief tonight. 4 strong from Cole Pletka, but then 4 innings, just 1 hit. He allowed 5 strikeouts. The best outing he's had all season, no question about it. And between that and the Hunter Goodman 2-run bomb, that really anchored Hyannis tonight.
So you've seen the Orleans Firebirds for 3 games now. 2-1 are the Orleans Firebirds over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. What have you learned about the Firebirds, seeing them for 3 games?
You know, it's kind of interesting. The lineup is gritty, man. Like, they don't go away. They put together really good at bats. They might not have a whole ton of power, but they just put together some really quality ABs and find ways to get on base. Tonight, maybe not as much the case, but the pitching still really did a nice job for him. Of course, starter Owen Schartz tonight, he was fantastic, 5 scoreless, a pitching battle all the way up until the 9th inning. But that's really been kind of the case with Orleans. Maybe not a ton of power, but gritty ball players put together gritty ABs, and this team is really anchored by their pitching. There's no question about it. I mean, a team that came into the night with Orleans, 3rd in the league in ERA, they can really induce some nice ground ball contact. They really make their opposing hitters work. And Orleans, I mean, they're a quality ball club. I know they just lost 6 straight, but they won 2 in a row before the game tonight, and they just find their ways to battle out games and pick up wins.
You mentioned they're gritty. Josh White just said they're resilient. Tyler Henry last night said that they are a team that works ridiculously hard. It seems, I mean, that's what this team is made of. Being kind of on the other side, seeing the game from a different lens in terms of Hyannis side, it's a hard team to beat.
Yeah, it's absolutely a hard team to beat, and you know, all these Orleans wins, they fight for, you know, all their victories, and they really make teams work, but it's the other way around too. Orleans, I mean, there's a reason that they're sitting at 3rd place in the East Division. There's a reason that they were sitting at 1st place for such a long time. Their pitching is so good. Their hitting does not go away. They put together quality innings. They can score runs in bunches when they need to, even if it's not all from the power stroke. But that's why they're so hard to beat, is they make teams work for them. They make teams work to them. And they kind of refuse to be that last out, and that's how they keep rallies going. I mean, maybe not so much the case tonight, but we saw it in Game 1 from Orleans at McKeon Park. We saw it from Game 2 here where they pulled out the victory, and that's just kind of been the case with the Firebirds. Like you said, they do not go away.
Lyle, we're going to see you tomorrow at McKeon Park. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it, too.
Thanks so much for coming on the Bird's Eye View postgame show. That's going to wrap up our broadcast here for the entire night. For Lyle Goldstein, who hung out in the pregame and postgame shows, an absolute superstar. For our producer, Bryce Johnson, both of our broadcasters, Thomas Cinzarella and Josh White, I'm Scotty Gange saying so long, and we'll see you tomorrow at McKeon Park.